The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Wednesday edition of the Whitfield Report podcast. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, joined here by Mortheous, and hopefully we'll be joined by Max later.
Hey.
Hope all is well. How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good so far. Good, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. So, a few things. I actually kind of want to dive into a topic from last week because, more unfortunately,
Because what got fucked?
you had some internet issues. But last week we intended to talk a little bit about the Jesse Ridgway McJuggernuggets sorry, frog in my throat. We intended to talk about the Jesse Ridgway McJuggernuggets situation. As most people know by now, this YouTuber and his wife basically, like, they've claimed that they aborted their kid because of Down syndrome, and it became a whole big, like, culture war discussion on the internet. There's been some conflicting, I guess, information that has, like, come out since they made the announcement. But, I just kinda wanna open the floor because I kinda gave my opinion on it, but, Morpheus, since you were kind of unable to communicate, what are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, as I'm sure you saw and some others saw on Twitter when this was going on, I spent 5 days tagging Jesse, basically demanding an answer. So are you saying that disabled people don't deserve to live? I intended to go on as long as I had to get an answer. He blocked me after day 5.
Yeah, which I find very
Fucking pussy.
well, yeah, but see, I also find it very telling that he blocked you before he blocked me. I don't think I'm. Let me check real quick. I don't even know if he blocked me yet, actually. But yeah, props to you for kind of getting under his skin, I guess.
I still want that answer, Jesse. Are disabled people allowed to live or not? Answer it, bitch.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, like at least there were some like lefties who actually did answer and said yes, which is a shitty
It's a
answer.
shitty answer, but at least it's an answer.
But still, and then like I don't know if you saw, but Asmongold, who I usually really like, had a really shit take on that whole thing too.
Oh yeah, I saw his take as well.
And like, dude, I like you, Asmongold, but like that was, and I don't even think he meant it maliciously, because for those who don't know, basically like um Asmongold said that, yeah, abortion should be okay, be like allowed in that situation, which again I think is a really shit take. I don't know, like, if Asmongold like knows that many disabled people though either, to be like completely honest. So he probably thinks that like he's probably one of these like, you know, quasi lefties who think that like all disabled people like are like chronically, ill,
Right.
or something like that. Um,
And to be fair to Asmund, he was blatantly reading a question from his chat, but still the disability that his chatter decided to put into his mouth just happens to be the main diagnosis that I have, and it just sent me off.
yeah, well that's something I wanted to kind of ask you about too, because spina bifida has kind of been in, has kind of like, for better and for worse, kind of hopped into this discussion. I don't know why, since it's like different from Down syndrome, but
Right.
whatever. Let me just kind of, uh, I guess, interview you and ask kind of like an open ended question, which, what are like the biggest myths about spina bifida that you have kind of encountered?
Well, one of the biggest myths that I've encountered is it's a degenerative disorder that can get better and or worse with like progressive life goings on, or if you do a shit ton of therapy, it'll take care of it. No, TLDR, what spina bifida is it's a neural tube disordered birth defect that deals with the opening of the spine uh, before and during birth.
Yeah, I mean, based on what I've kind of read, that seems pretty accurate as well. And I imagine that, like, because like for cerebral palsy, which is what I have, like cerebral palsy is an extremely like, almost every case is like very unique. Um,
And it's pretty close to that with Spina as well. That
yeah,
last I knew, there was like three or four different stages of spina bifida, which I'm considered to be a less severe version of it. Even though I'm in a wheelchair, there
yeah,
are other versions of it that are far more severe.
yeah. Well, like, so there are versions of like cerebral palsy where like on one end of the spectrum you'll see, people who they may they may be able, like, fully able-bodied, but they might just, like, tremble or, like, walk with a limp. Nothing that is, like, super, like, no, like, you wouldn't know that they have cerebral palsy unless they told you or something, or right? All
Right. Are, are you familiar with the singer John Mellencamp?
them.
Well, long story short, he has spina bifida as well. He's what, probably twice my age, I think, or pretty close to it. Like 60 something. What
Yeah.
happened with him is shortly after birth they did surgery on him, which it was extremely experimental at the time, and you can barely tell the man has anything wrong with him.
Yeah, I I think I knew that he had spina bifida, but, like, I had forgotten or something like that. And, yeah, same thing with, like, not the exact same thing, but like I said, with cerebral palsy, you have like you have one end, and you have one end of the spectrum where it's very mild, and then on the other end of the spectrum, and you'll see this like out in public sometimes, or like where a kid will be like, fully like basically like spastic. They'll kind of be paralyzed. Like they'll basically be vegetables, kind of like drooling in a wheelchair, like having to be held up, with
And
like,
it's kind of like that with benefit as well.
yeah. Now, see, I was supposed to like be to be like extremely like, I was supposed to be an extreme case, but the thing of it is because of my brain injury and where it was, basically when my parents did research, and I'm giving the super like, layman's uh version of it here, but essentially like my brain was plastic enough like at birth, um to where like through intense physical therapy I was able to learn to like walk, I was able to like learn to talk, like gain motor movement, and like even like walk a little bit to some extent. Like, now this is over the course of years, but like the reason why I'm doing as well as I am is because of like sheer intense, physical therapy, among
Right.
other things. So like I guess it's kind of like that in a similar way. Um
Right. In my case, it's not so much therapy, but it's more. Uh, mine, like I said, mine is like about middle of the road version of spina bifida.
yeah.
Mid thigh down, I can't feel squat, which is why I'm in a wheelchair. But I've got ridiculous upper body strength, like you and I have Max talked about with my table push-ups and whatnot. So as long as
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean like, and that's kind of the same thing. Like I'm somewhere like in the middle of,
I keep my upper body.
yeah. So, uh did we lose you, or were you trying to say something?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe you were trying to say something and I cut you off by accident.
No, no,
So,
no. I stopped and unmuted myself.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I just kind of wanted to, touch on that topic a bit.
But before we jump off Planet F specifically, uh, something happened funny around 2000, 2001. The doctors discovered a way to do pre-birth surgery on the unborn baby, and if you get a doctor in your area that has that experience, they can basically correct the disability in utero now.
which which is very which is very interesting, and like, and so that's the other thing too. It's like, so spina bifida can be detected at birth, then I take it,
Right.
right?
Right. It's right. Basically, it had, long story short, it has a lot to do with the mother's folic acid intake before and during pregnancy.
Gotcha. So your mother was eating like too many spicy foods, or I don't know.
We didn't know that 42 years ago. But we do it now.
Hmm.
Something like that.
Well, you are a spicy individual sometimes more. So, uh, you know, that would explain some things, sir.
Hashtag Mort rants.
So, yeah, and I mean,
Just a little bit.
yeah. Well, especially when it comes to Anita Sarkeesian and stuff like that, which as you
Oh,
said,
we'll be talking about her on Friday.
oh fuck. So I'm gonna need like 3 shots of rum with my Coke when I do the
Make it
when,
more.
you just want to see smashed Sammy the so
Goddamn right.
so but yeah, I mean, so honestly, like my whole thing, I don't want to beat the the Jesse Ridgway horse. I hope that, like I said, early in the week, like I hope it was just all for attention. I think like either way, it's shitty if he
That would
like
be the better outcome.
yeah. Well, it would be the better outcome. It is still fucking shitty if he made it up,
Absolutely.
like for controversy, but like at least he and his wife didn't kill the kid. The other thing too is like
Right.
people,
And
and I don't mean to cut you off. All I was gonna say is like I've actually gotten more flack from people because I've gone after his wife, and people don't think that I should do that. The problem I have is like this woman claims my biggest problem with her is she's claiming that she worked with like special ed kids. And
right.
so that somehow exonerates her. X to
Then you
doubt.
should then you should know that people with disabilities can be fledged functioning human beings, and you shouldn't have aborted.
Yeah. Yeah. s- Yeah, and yeah, so X to doubt like I would expect that at least someone would have come forward at this point saying, "Yes, she did work at, like I worked with her or something." But no, nothing like that. And B, like even if she did and all that, like, and she's still doing it, like, wow, that just makes her like even more of like a horrible human being. So that's kind of my take on the
Because
whole thing.
yeah, and like I tried saying last week when my computer decided to fuck me in the ass, I don't understand why Jesse, Keemstar, and Boogie are friends.
You understand now, or
Yeah,
you?
because they're all shit pieces of shit.
Oh yeah. Well, this is like yeah, this is the whole thing is like, there's that whole like internet grifter spear thing that is like you know, that like they're a part of it. And like I blame them partially for the internet being like, like shitty the way it is sometimes on social media. So,
Internet blood sports, gotta love it.
yeah, which I don't want to really spend too much time covering this either, but I am seeing on Twitter right now, or X, whatever you want to call it, that the FBI has supposedly like stopped prevented a few death threats, against Erica Kirk that were actionable, which is good. Um, the downside is that there are still people who are so like hell bent on whatever Candace Owens is saying that like they're almost kind of cheering for her death, for Erica's death, I
That's
should
fun.
say, which is fucked up. And no, we condemn violence outright,
Absolutely.
especially like we'd had criticisms of the way that Erica Kirk has handled things with Turning Point. But like, yeah, think if you're so concerned with like Charlie's legacy and all that as you claim to be, well then maybe you shouldn't try and like, well then maybe some of you guys shouldn't be trying to like orphan his children completely. So, especially considering that like they're both basically toddlers still. So, just kind of wanted to cover that. More now. Now I don't want to dive too much into like bits and bones territory, but I do kind of feel like we have to have like a Mort was right moment, and also Sam was right moment, because you know, I gave 007 first light like all the props in the world for not being woke at all and for giving gamers the experience that they want.
Right.
And a lot of gaming companies have kind of started to catch on to this. However, CDPR has doubled down on wokeness. And so I will kind of leave this, you have the floor to kind of talk.
They've doubled down.
Talk
They've
about
tripled down. Ever since I think it was 2023, they put this our approach to ESG video. Did I get rumbled?
No, you're still here.
All right. Well, what I was saying is, I think it was back in 2023. CDPR decided it was a good idea to put a video on their YouTube channel, calling it "Our Approach to ESG." And I've been beating this drum for the last 3 years that this was going to completely torpedo the company eventually.
Yeah, let me I'm actually trying to like find I think it's you posted something on earlier today, and I'm trying to find your, I know they're called posts now,
I'll grab the video. Hold on.
but yeah, no, I mean like it is kind of like hilarious to me that like even after the success of like First Light and other games that are kind of shying away from wokeness, they're doubling down. So
And people like me who've been a fan of this particular studio for literally years would tolerate it.
yeah.
Rumbled.
No, I don't think you got rumbled. So
All right, let me.
hey, Dollar, good to see you in chat, sir. So I'm all right. Let me see here. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, one day, this isn't exactly related to the CDPR thing more, but I do kind of want to bring this up real quick because you did send me this post. Can you hear me still?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear
Basically,
me?
yeah, I can hear you. Basically, Microsoft has decided to shut down one of their studios, it seems. Let me see if I can pull this up. And okay, and now more got rumbled. So yeah, let's see here. Awards mean precisely Jack. So yeah. Microsoft is shutting down compulsion games. And even after like following multiple wins at the Canadian Games Award for a game that could be clearly be the exact long-running exclusive action adventure, a franchise that differentiates Xbox brand from the competition. All right, and I got rumbled.
All right, I'm back. I think.
Lovely.
And also, two cripples and a giant walk into a bar.
Yeah, two cripples and a giant, but the giant is missing. And both cripples got rumbled, but we're back now.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently Microsoft rumbled us because they don't want us talking about this. But yeah, I guess Microsoft shut down Compulsion Games.
Yep. Compulsion Games. The studio that made the Senua's Sacrifice games, Ninja Theory as well.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, the gaming industry it's been tumultuous the last couple of days. So also the giant said he'd be here in 5 minutes, so that's good. So yeah, I mean I think you hit the nail right on the head here. More words mean precisely jack and shit when it doesn't focus on things that really matter. Well, and the evidence of that has been the Oscars the last few years.
The Oscars, the Grammys, gaming.
Oh, which speaking of, I want to wait for the giant to show up because I have a movie review kind of for you guys.
Nice.
I have a movie review as explained to me by a Zoomer by a friend's Zoomer younger brother. So it's not my review, it is a Zoomer review that I will try and explain in millennial speak. For the movie oh what is it called? It's the I should know what it's called, and I'm blanking on. Oh yeah, I like it's like Possessed or something like that. It's basically that movie about like a guy who wants a girl to fall in love with him, and so he makes a wish, and so she does, but it like ends up. Oh, Obsessed. That's the movie name. Um, basically, like in a nutshell, it's a horror movie about how like Zoomers are terrified of dating. That is horror film material to them.
That sounds funny.
I mean, dating has always been scary, but like it's not like
Agreed.
horror film. And well, unless you count like Stephen King's like Carrie, I guess that was kind of maybe the first like, girls are scary movie. But yeah. So
When we get back to it, I just DM'd you the CDPR post that I was right about.
also sorry not sorry not so, sorry not sorry for flashbanging everyone with DSP posts. Blame Mortheous.
Hashtag blame Mort. Absolutely.
So
You're just lucky. I refuse to flashbang people with Noah online.
well, at least you're not flashbanging us with at least you're not flashbanging us with Anita Sarkeesian regularly.
No, that'll come Friday.
Well, it's a good thing you're doing on your show. So, also, the giant has arrived. So,
Sam,
well,
Sam, can you hear me, Sam?
yeah, yes, I can hear you now, Max. I was in another tab.
We can hear you.
So,
Ooga booga, unga bunga.
ooga booga, ooga. So,
I feel that we need some more like caveman
Giant Unga Bunga.
these days, you know?
well, see, I was saying to you in Caveman, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, that's like your grug brain sometimes looks at shit and is like, you know how to fix it because caveman brain, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, there's all these like crimes being committed. Ugh, wish somebody locked those people up. You know? And like for every reason in the world, you got a bunch of cat ladies telling you, no, we can't lock them up because that'll actually make the problem worse. You see, instead of then being surrounded by criminals in a prison, you're actually you would not have them in your neighborhoods, and you'd never have tacos again.
Oh yeah,
You're a racist for suggesting locking up criminals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, unga fucking bunga, lock these people up that commit crime. What the fuck?
So that kind of brings us to tonight's topic, Max. I kind of wanted your. I don't know if you saw any of the UFC stuff this weekend, but
I did, Sam. But I don't know if you saw the clip of Asmongold talking about this that got so much attention today. That's why I brought it up, because you heard it here first on the Whitfield Report. If you've been around a while, we've been talking about cracking down on anarcho-tyranny. And it's not just me saying it, and it's not just Sam saying it. It's professionals who spent their entire life in law enforcement saying it.
Yes, who we've had on the show.
Yeah.
Too.
Huge shout out to Andrew Nelson for writing an amazing write-up about what anarcho-tyranny is. I shared this before on Twitter. I highly suggest it. I'll probably dig it up and share it again. A simple version of this, Sam, for the people that aren't aware, is that you're surrounded by so much crime and it's not enforced the law against the criminals. However, the normal person gets fined, taxed, and everything into oblivion. So you're not actually tyrannized as much by the government as you are by the criminals. This is where I have believed we've been heading and are now in for at least 20 years. I've been very vocal about this, Sam, for at least 10. Libertarians, I've been ripping on now. This is nothing new for me because you could dig up 10-year-old clips of me talking about Rothbard's essay, Unleash the Police. Murray Rothbard, by the way, the first person to coin the term anarcho-capitalism, the guy that invented voluntarism, which is a complete anarchist society, still had the foresight to write this article about how if you allow criminals to just undermine everybody's way of life in a million different ways, you don't have a society, you have anarchy run by criminals.
Yeah, and
there's an easy solution, Sam, and it's just it doesn't require any new laws. Check this out. Apply the law as written already. Just start putting people in jail when they commit crimes and don't let them out 25 fucking times.
They can do that?
No way.
No, that's fascism. That's Nazis. And it's like, we gotta stop letting these cat ladies frame every bit of the argument. I even hear people on the right using like cat lady therapy language to try and make their case. Fuck that shit. Grug brain, unga bunga, I see problem. If you don't do something about it, we're gonna have to hit it with a stick.
Okay, well, the people on the right who are using those cat lady terms, though, Max, and I've made this observation before, they're the same ones that like scream that like Trump is not like far right enough because he doesn't like hate Jews or whatever their new whatever drug Tucker is sniffing this week. Like they just go along with that now. So,
well, I keep hearing a lot of from all them people. The therapy language. Well, it's caused by these mental illnesses and these neurological conditions and blah, 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 blah. All right, then. If you have, Sam, Mort, you guys have neurological conditions, right?
Yes. That's what makes it so funny.
I know. I had to stop and point that out. Have you ever committed a crime because of it?
No.
Right. Now, I didn't say have you ever committed a crime. I said have you committed a crime because of your neurological condition, which most people would consider a bit more severe than fucking anxiety.
Well, I mean, I might have J-rolled my wheelchair like across like.
That's a crime an able-bodied person can commit, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fine. No, and it's like it's an excuse for everything. It's like, okay, well then so we're admitting there are some neurological or mental health psychological conditions to which a side effect is that they make other people's lives harder. I'm saying, well, that sucks for them that unfortunately now they have to be locked away from everybody else because they can't behave like a child. I'm also saying that this is the basis of not only Western civilization, but all of civilization, Sam.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad As been talking about it. I'm so glad there was mention of things like this over the weekend at UFC. I know. And we could talk about that, but I just wanted to get my little anarcho-tyranny rant. Yes, we need to unleash the police on people committing crime. We need to put people with mental health conditions that are affecting the people around them in places where they can't harm anybody. This is not radical.
No, not at all.
And we need to put terrorists who commit terror attacks on American citizens in the fucking dirt.
Yeah, I've been saying that for 20 years, and by the way, folks, that is not a neocon. I am so sick of all these like libertarians who think that like any form of like self defense or like defeating terrorism is like neoconservatism, like warmongering. It's not. Defeating
We have
terrorists.
replaced that. Warmongering looked so bad to millennials that they decided to become a bunch of pacifist pussies. Well, let me tell you something, millennials. I'm a fighter. I grew up literally fighting with my hands against other people, both in sport and on the streets. I don't know how to be a pacifist little pussy in the realm of politics. And this is why I offend some people, Sam. I've stood toe to toe, looked at another man, and fucking had it out with him in a game of respect where you actually hurt each other. A lot of people have never experienced anything like that. And let me tell you something, puts hair on your chest, toughens you up a little bit, makes you look at violence
shows.
differently,
Yeah,
and I feel like for you guys is like, it's unfortunate in my opinion that you guys weren't able to do sports because of your conditions, but at the same time it sounds like a lot of people involved you in activities you could do because they understood that's good for people.
Right.
What do kids do now?
And a lot of what I did back in the day, growing up, Max, was arm wrestle with my buddies.
yeah. Well, my friend Ty, who has famously been on the show, MMA guy, he and I actually got into a fight in a parking lot. Not so much a fight. He was just like, "Hey, can you actually hit me?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I,
roughhousing and whatever.
yeah, would
There's one. Men aren't allowed to roughhouse no more, right? Somebody
oh
will
my,
call the cops.
oh my god, oh my
Of
god,
course
yeah,
not.
yeah, no,
That's toxic.
yeah, no, the fact that men are not allowed to like that, like in my estimation, that's why like that in and of itself is a big reason why why these future generations are so like pussified basically.
So there was this game. This game, among my friends at least, was you make this little single upside down like this. It's not an okay. It's not a white supremacy sign. It's upside down, right? And you put it underneath your waist. If it's beneath your waist and your buddy looks at it, you get to call homo
You
and
get to
punch
punch
him in
him.
the arm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did that.
Another game that we had, and oh my god, any lady in the audience is going to be like, oh my god, and guys are going to be like, I could see that. Scoop slam. Your fat friend, you take his fucking fat titty as you're walking by him and you just go, scoop slam. See, this
Yeah.
is to encourage him to lose weight, Sam.
Yeah.
If he keeps
Totally.
getting scoop slammed all the time, you don't
Absolutely.
even need to call him fatty. He's going to get sensitive about his man boobs.
Yeah,
Right.
we used to titty twist the fat kids.
Titty twisters,
That
purple
too.
nurples,
And
awful awfuls.
it wasn't like I was explaining that to someone the other day and they were like, "Oh, so that meant you were gay." And it's like, "No, no. It wasn't a gay thing at all. Like that didn't imply it was like, dude, you're fat. You have tits. Lose weight."
Yeah. If you
So,
don't have big fat titties, then how come I can scoop slam them like Hulk Hogan with one hand? See,
exactly.
another one is like pee tap. Well, straight up, we would punch each. This was my crew, and probably my crew alone. We would straight up punch each other in the dick. Pee tap. Ah, you motherfucker, pee tap.
Yes, Johnny Arcade.
You can
We
call.
are bullies.
Oh, shout out Johnny Arcade.
Oh shit.
No, I am a bully, admittedly.
John Arcade is in chat. Long time no see, my man.
Shout out.
Yeah. Um
Good brother Joe says I'm going to do that to my wife.
Yeah, so I mean,
There's
this
the
all
other one, Sam. No homo. What happened? So I said, like, this is important. This is like no homo month, right? So just so the audience understands the rules. If you say something pretty gay, you got to call no homo. And if they don't, if one of us says it, one of us is we're obligated to say pause and give them a chance to say no homo. And then ideally, if you didn't say no homo, then you'd also
You
get
get
punched
punched.
in the arm.
yeah.
Yeah. See, this was normal shit for Gen X and millennial men. For friends, I know, wild Zoomers, we would hit our
People like
friends.
friends.
Max, I was explaining to Mortheous before you came on. There's that new movie called like Obsessed.
Hold on. Shout out Joe in chat says gonna do the scoop slam to his wife.
Yeah, well, I mean,
My
that's
man.
that's what that's what we all that's what we all should do, right? Is
That's right.
is find a way to do that. But no, so there's this movie called Obsessed. I don't know if any of you have. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it. Basically, the way it was explained to me by a friend's younger brother who is a Zoomer is basically it's about this Zoomer guy who he's too much of a pussy to ask this girl out, so he
She heard me talking about the pee-pee taps and was like laughing because she knows that's 100% true, by the way. Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
So yeah. So we have confirmation then. But anyway, so there's this movie called Obsessed, and the way it was explained to me is this Zoomer guy is so petrified to ask this girl out that he basically like gets some like wish MacGuffin thing and like basically hypnotizes her into falling in love with him. But then like she becomes like crazed, obsessed with him.
Mm-hmm. Is
And
there a Jewish
so
space laser involved, Sam?
I don't know. There should have been. That would have made the film at least
I'm
like
just saying, you
somewhat.
got to appeal to the Candace audience a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Basically, like, so I kind of gathered from this is Max. Zoomers are so scared of like dating now that they're making horror films about it.
Okay.
That is
To be fair, we have sort of equivalent things. Like this is not new because I was just listening to they're going to re-release one of my favorite albums ever, Tech 9 Angelic, and he's remastering it all. And one of the songs on there, it sort of uses the loop of the Halloween movie a little bit. It like mixes it up. And the song is called Psycho Bitch, and it's like a horror movie story about exactly that. And it's a 3-part series. He did 3 of those songs. So like we have the example of like dating gone toxic horror, and there's movies like that too, right? Of our age group where a girl gets obsessed with a guy, and I can't think of it, but this has always existed. So it's not that
There's
bad.
actually a movie called Crush about that.
Crush, that's one. But I will say, Sam, that like a lot of normal social things seem to not be in the Zoomer wheelhouse, like
yeah,
talking to people not with a screen of glass in between them.
that's kind of my point, Max. Is like not talking to someone with talking to someone in person, like that could now be considered like a horror
Yeah, it's because they all
movie.
have anxiety. But this is what I mean is like the therapy language has given everybody carte blanche for instead of my flaw needs to be improved upon, it is my flaw is caused by X neurological condition, even though that's maybe not even a real thing and it's self-diagnosed. And this has become so prevalent Everybody's pathologizing everything. And the fact of the matter is, like, none of these people have read Carl Jung.
No.
None of these people have a psych degree. And even though I have a high school education, I often am far more knowledgeable on the subject than them. And what it is that a lot of people like that they can use some type of neurological or psychological condition to excuse their behavior rather than work on it.
Yeah.
And this therapy language has given them a way to, if it's like, but if you don't accept it, you're being mean. And it's like, do you know what they would have done to you in ancient Rome for that?
Yeah, exactly. And as someone, and again, I think, more can back me up as someone who has actual who has like an actual, neurological or, in my case, a brain injury that
You
that
guys would have higher status than people like that in Rome.
yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah.
but also it gets tiresome when the people with with these
Because what they would do is they'd find things that you guys could do, which there's many, right? And you
Absolutely.
guys would be contributing members and you wouldn't be bitching about your condition if you were lucky enough to get a chair with wheels on it, instead of them just schlepping you around and sitting you down on a board somewhere.
Give me a chariot, damn it.
Well, heck, more and I would probably be like, the brain power in like, in the Roman Senate, like when
Well, they had plenty of cripples within monasteries writing books, ironically enough.
right.
It's not a
It'd probably
new.
be
Yeah.
a scribe or an accountant or some shit.
Well, or
Many famous Christian scribes and historical scribes of Europe, like more than a handful, had some form of your exact condition, actually.
yeah.
Because they would find a
Right.
guy like you who's perfectly good at writing and reading and just, legs ain't the greatest. And they would be like, we have a great place for somebody like that in the monastery.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'd be writing manuscripts all fucking day.
Yeah.
Or
It-
dictating them or
it's inter-
something.
it's
But
inter-
like a person that says, I can't, because I get stressed out, I can't function, I need to take a break, that person wouldn't have much place in Rome. They'd be told, shut the fuck up and get back to work.
To your point there, Max, growing up, I wasn't allowed to use the phrase, I can't because. My family treated me as normal as possible.
Same here. Same here. I was actually like
It
discouraged.
shows.
I was discouraged from having, from using the I can't because I'm disabled card up until in college when when everyone else was doing it. So my mom was like, "Hey Sam, you might as well."
There's a tangible benefit and no downside at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Mort, you use your ability to get financial aid for college.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't.
And I did.
Here's like even Zoomers, if you can take advantage of any of those types of programs, I suggest people do because they let you. Here's a tip for young people if you're in the college age frame. I know if you're a listener to this show, you probably aren't actually, but you're going to be from now on any application, non-binary. Why? Because they can't really make you prove that.
Which is hilarious.
And if you really want to get ridiculous with it, what I would say is 1 day a week, wear a little tiny pink beret in your hair. And you'll say, this is the day I feel feminine. But generally, I'm just present as masculine. And you don't get to define my identity. Where's my fucking grant, bitch?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Especially if they're still falling for the woke grift in 2026. If you can actually do that, sign it up. And then, you know what? Later on, if somebody calls you on it, you just be like, I did it to get into college. Or, I felt like I was that then, but that's because I was in college and retarded.
I mean,
Now I'm
Elizabeth
grown up.
Warren pretended to be an Indian.
They can never prove you're not non-binary, Sam, by their own logic.
Exactly. Although, so kind of getting back to the whole UFC thing this weekend, it is pretty funny.
There were some big fights on the lawn of the White House.
Yeah, there were some big fights on the lawn. I obviously I don't want to show any clips because I don't want this to get taken down. But there is that clip. The big moment is there was that one fighter who on the lawn called out Michelle Obama for being like a man, and the whole entire cat lady establishment was like, he can't do that, and they're mad at Joe Rogan too for laughing at it, and it's like
it turns out, Sam, he can do that. He did do that. What are they gonna do about it? This is why I mention all this stuff about the cat ladies, is because we've given our entire society up to them telling you that if you're not quiet, you're not being kind, as they run over you with immigrants and criminals, right? And you're not supposed to say anything because you're not supposed to. They don't even explain why. Why is he not allowed to say a stupid internet meme?
Because it might offend someone, I guess.
It might hurt her feelings.
Do they actually believe that Michelle Obama is a biological male? Is that why they're mad?
I thought being trans was brave.
Like, if they think it's such a ridiculous thing to say, you would just be like, yeah, there was some crazy, and he said that Michelle Obama's a man. The reason it bothers them is because they know it's a meme people say, and they're getting mad about internet memes, which shows you that these politicians, Sam, politicians at the fucking highest level are screen-addicted social media tards. Sam.
Yes, and cat ladies.
Yep.
So what I can show you, however, so back in February, we made fun of TPUSA for having the cringe counter Super Bowl halftime show.
Yep.
Which was fair then. Well, some big lefty organization decided to have an equally cringe counter UFC show. And
That's hilarious.
And I kid you not. This
did they have fights?
No. Take a guess as to what it was.
It a concert?
Yes.
Was it a bunch
Megan Thee
of
Stallion
musicians that are way past their prime?
Yes. Even worse though, there weren't even really any famous artists at all. Except for Robert De Niro. He was the one celeb that showed up for this.
Did he
That's
sing?
hilarious.
No, that might have been better, but just
I know, seriously, ignoring that it's Robert De Niro sucks for a second, it might have made the whole bit more impressively funny if you were going to show me Robert De Niro cringily singing, but it looks like we're about to see a bunch
of straight. When you come for the rest of us, we'll fight you at the gate and you will lose. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Hey there, all you fascists. Let me put you straight. When you come for the rest of us, we'll fight you at the gate and you will lose. You fascists bound to lose.
So that was literally the entire counter show. It was old boomer cat ladies singing folk songs about fascists.
Riveting. They're mad that Roman Reigns was at the UFC fight. It's like, bro.
Yep.
Bro.
Well, so this is
you guys didn't realize that Roman Reigns is a bit of a right-winger by this point, you're fucking retarded. Why do you think he points to the sky as his thing? Do you actually think it's just, we the ones? He's like the most Christian guy in the company. And he's pretty fucking blatant about it.
Yeah. Well,
They're surprised the OTC is going to go to a White House event and watch a UFC, which, by the way, is a partner of their company.
yeah.
Of course, the boxers and fighters and WWE people were there. And then what? You had this middle-aged white cat lady in a fucking glittery, sparkly dog collar singing about fascists are going to lose. Gee, I wonder why people are generally not on their side.
Well, and this goes on because like I checked to see.
Remember when they all sang Imagine, Sam?
Yes.
They sang Imagine, Sam, and it moved the hearts of the nation so that 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that was with DEI funding though, Max. See, they don't have USA. They don't have USAID anymore. So without USAID, this is the best they can do. Like,
Bro, Obama had Jay-Z and shit, and he like it wasn't all USAID. Like, let's be real for 1 second, Sam. Just because Obama's a Democrat, he had cool factor for his time.
sure.
He wasn't just a suit. Like, he got over with people. We see him differently now, but you have to acknowledge at the time that's how it was. So,
Oh yeah.
who in the Democrat Party has anything even close to that or Bill Clinton's level of cool factor? Because those are the last two Democrat presidents, not including Joe Biden, who's obviously the coolest man that's ever lived.
Who no one has seen or heard from like at all.
Hey, 82 million votes, Sam. He can just walk off in the sunset. You never need to see him again. You know he's the coolest president ever. Obviously. Because they sang Imagine at us, Sam, and Madonna cried in a bath of milk and fucking rose petals, and then 81 million people elected Joe Biden.
Sure.
That's the
Sure.
That's the story the news told me.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that they might have a different narrative of events than what actually happened, Sam?
You know,
You're a
yes.
conspiracy theorist.
You know, Max, it's funny you say that because we talked to Spencer Pratt on the show a few weeks ago, and
they are flat out robbing him. Yeah.
Well, Max.
I'll say it. You don't have to say it.
Well, 61 million votes for what's her face. Karen Bass just showed up overnight.
What a surprise!
Happens. It takes weeks to count in California. It took days in fucking America when we didn't even have trains.
Well, but Max, we didn't have as Max and Sam, we didn't have as many people in the country back then, so that's why.
Florida has no problem with this. Frankly, Sam.
Yeah.
New York has very little problem with this, and they are a lefty state.
That's bad.
Yeah. New York, like, look at the last three elections. The last 3 elections, the results for New York State, the results from Massachusetts, all these far lefty places that totally did have some mail-in fraud, in my humble opinion, but not as much as other places because they were already blue states. But I think it was nationwide, Sam, because I got sent like 15 vote by mail ballots that year.
Yeah,
myself. Like, they kept sending them to me, my wife, and like all over the place. I was worried somebody's just going to pick it up, fill it out, and that's going to be my vote for a Democrat, right? Regardless, every other fucking state but California and then a couple of these other fucking swing states, weirdly enough, is able to one night. And every election prior to 2020, by the way, one night. Every single one in modern American history, one night. So we didn't have that many more people now than we did in 2000, 2004, 2002, any midterms. We don't have that many more people now that would make it that unmanageable. The problem is their system itself, and they are purposely using both the loopholes and fraud of the system and the ways around the edges, and the system, that stuff that's built in to fuck a non-Democrat person running. That's my opinion. They're using the entire thing. They're turning every dog loose on Spencer Pratt, and that just makes me support what he's doing more.
Let's face it, not even like right-wing policies, just normal ass, hey, let's clean up the city streets to make sure that there aren't fucking needles on the ground.
You're not allowed to call for unga bunga normie things. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have my caveman brain says, hey, we got all these criminals obviously committing crime on fucking camera right in front of the police. What do you do about this problem? Unga bunga, put in jail. We can't do that, Grug. We can't just put them in jail. Don't you understand? They had a bad childhood. Unga bunga, me fucking too.
Yeah. Turns out we actually can just do shit, though.
Yeah, we can just do things. We can just put criminals in jail. The reason that we're not is because we're letting Karen tell us, no, but you got to think about that he has a lot of stress because his mom was a crackhead. Mine fucking too, and I ain't robbing Walmart.
That for the audience that doesn't tune in regularly, like, that's not much of an exaggeration either. Like,
we could sit here like the reaction stream. What would be an easy win would just be to sit here and watch fucking body cam of people getting arrested. That would prove my point. Like, that's why Asmongold has been doing it. I'd love for you to bring up, I retweeted this today, the conversation about Asmongold saying exactly this kind of thing that's got people upset. But I still want to, I want to stay on the Spencer Pratt thing. So how much of it do you think is just California sucks and is incompetent, and how much of it do you think is actual malicious fraud?
Well,
50-50.
No, well, I would say that it's probably like 15% California sucks, but like the majority of it is malicious fraud, I think. Because I've talked to because I get people in my DMs on both X and Instagram who are like, hey man, I'm not super far right. I don't agree with like a lot of the thing, but yeah, I agree that I live in California and I want clean, streets, and I don't want
to walk in human shit, let alone dog. See, this is the thing, Sam, in a place where most of us live, you might see signs up that say, please pick up after your dog.
Yeah.
Because that's a problem. Imagine if for 1 second it wasn't dog but human shit that the problem was with. And that you can't walk down the street without really looking because you're probably going to step in a big old pile of homeless guy shit.
That is,
Do you want to live that way? No.
No.
I think that we could put homeless people in a better situation? Look, a lot of them want to be homeless, Sam.
Well,
Right.
Well, that's another like reality that no one wants to admit either. We can't
Whether
say
it be for drugs, mental health, or some people just like the freedom, I guess, of being a bum. You're not going to get rid of all the homeless people, and some of them, like they say, just put them in houses. That's the California strategy right now, right? And they tear them fucking things up. I've seen anyway articles where it's like they put a bunch of these homeless people from Skid Row into housing, and they literally stripped the copper pipes and sold them for drug money.
Yeah,
These brand new houses that were built for these homeless people, they stripped them down for anything they could sell, and then they lived in it like a fucking slum house. Brand new houses.
We can build
them because they were homeless. If we just give them this step up, they will surely clean their life up. It's not like a problem that's bigger than just oh, they don't have a house, right? Charity's harder than it seems.
But Max, on the flip side, so we can get homes for like, the homeless, but like
What
like
about
you're
veterans?
yeah, you're disabled veterans though who like they're trying to get help for their PTSD. They want to
Fuck 'em.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a big problem, and that's something
because they're required to go through the VA, right? And they don't have. Usually, it's like it's not a drug problem thing. They're not through the court system, right?
Right.
So they don't have access to all these charity programs and NGO fucking bullshit. They're just, and then if they do get a drug problem, they still have to go through the VA for all their healthcare shit.
yeah.
Or TRICARE or whatever you call it. Apologies to any of the vets out there. I don't remember what it's called, but I know you have a hell of a time with it most of the time.
Most there are a lot of veterans I know who have drug problems because of the VA, mostly because of just because they're in such pain that they get addicted to painkillers.
Yeah.
Because and that is a huge problem. And that's something that like Steve Stratton has talked about.
I'm not sure of the most up-to-date statistics, Sam, but the last I checked was about, I believe, 2020 statistic was that there is one veteran commits suicide every day in America.
Yeah.
That is an appalling statistic, and obviously we can do better than that.
And we should.
If we can't, we're pathetic.
I found Asmongold's video that you retweeted.
Yeah, it's short and sweet. Obviously, it was a clip from a longer video, but it does have Twitter up there.
Intelligent and smart people. The problem.
So let me go ahead and pull this up, and I actually did see this, but I do think it's worth playing. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Intelligent and smart people. The problem. People are really not going to like this. You're not being oppressed by the top 2% of society. You're being oppressed by the bottom 2% of society. And the bottom 2% of society have caused all of the manifest problems in your lives are caused by the bottom 2% in society. Intelligent and smart people. The problem.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
So the bottom 2%, what he means is the criminals, criminal lunatics, people with severe mental illness, people committing crimes, stealing, out protesting, making threats, committing terrorism. This is the bottom 2% of society. And is that not all of the, like, for example, when you go to the store, the deodorant is locked up now, Sam. That's not because of you or I. We don't fucking steal deodorant.
Right.
We can go and pay a fucking $1 or whatever for a fucking can of deodorant spray. They lock the shit up because people steal it. You have to go ask and be looked at like a potential thief because thieves exist. We all live in a minimum security prison when we go to Walmart now, because people can't scan all of their fucking groceries properly. So they have to have somebody standing there looking over your shoulder, suspicious of everybody. We can't, for example, they're getting rid of drink machines everywhere. Why? Because the motherfucker just walk in and use it all the fucking time, and they'll got to call the cops on them eventually. Right? And then the cops, it's a whole ballyhoo to wrangle this one retard who just keeps going in and stealing from the fucking drink machine every fucking day. But the cops can't just put him away because the DA thinks that he's this poor sweet boy. He's got all these fucking problems. So she lets him back out. Then he goes and robs the fucking store, and they let him out again. And then he goes back and puts a gun in the clerk's face, and they let him out again.
I do want to say too, I do agree with John Eric Hay that we are oppressed by the IRS too. I've been on that. I've been on that train for years.
I don't think Zach's 100% accurate, but it's about time we talk about the oppression of the criminal class on us normal people. how we are now expected to prove everything about ourselves at all times, like good little citizens of the surveillance state, because some criminals can't keep their shit to them fucking selves. And I think it's much easier to lock those people up.
Well, yeah, well, it's not just that. We're also expected to like bend over backwards to accommodate them, which is stupid.
Oh yeah, you know. I mean, look at Britain. They're like, hey, these rape. Did you see the rape gang report came out, Sam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Horrific stuff. I'd rather not get into any of the details because of how horrible it is. But needless to say, that's tyranny and narco-tyranny in action right there.
Well,
Is the cops will actually look the other way when your normal law-abiding citizens are oppressed by this minority group because they don't want to look racist. That's called a narco-tyranny. And the result of that is young girls in England being sexually abused and groomed for years and trafficked in
yes.
horrific stories, Sam. Don't look into this stuff if you have a weak stuff. Don't look into that report. It's horrible, Sam.
I've looked at some of it too, and you want to know what's even worse, Max, is if you report any of that in the UK, you'll also get like
you run the risk of even being arrested and things. Yeah, just for talking about it.
Yes.
That is anarcho-tyranny right there. See, anarcho-tyranny can't exist in a true, like, anarchist state, even though the anarchists get mad that it includes anarcho in the name. What it is that the state chooses to not enforce criminal law. Rather, they choose to enforce laws on the law-abiding, more or less, and put all these restrictions on them, and then let the criminals do whatever they want to a large degree, because they will terrorize everybody else into submission.
And that
the only way to deal with this is to law and order punish criminals.
And that is why, Max, a lot of Brits, at least the ones who listen to this show, have left the UK. A lot of them have and gone.
It's unfortunate to have to leave your fucking home.
Yes.
Over something like that. But yeah, I'm not even sure if is Rumble even allowed in England at this point. I'm not sure.
I don't think it is. And a lot of people will even listen to, from what I've been told, but a lot of people who listen to the show in the UK, even on like Spotify, will do so through like a VPN or something like that.
I would recommend VPN for everything, yeah. Because you never know when they're going to criminalize your normal. And that's what I mean. They're criminalizing a normal complaining about things, but they're not criminalizing, I don't know, rape gangs. Yeah. That is anarcho-tyranny. And everybody's so fucking sick of it, but a lot of people don't even know the words to say. No, you have to punish these people. And also the people pushing it, the politicians and stuff, we need to punish them too. And I don't just mean vote them out of office. I mean put them in jail.
Yeah,
I agree.
If not executions for some egregious cases of treason.
Well,
I've been saying this a long time, Sam. Some of the crimes committed by the far leftists in Congress, in my humble opinion, you could charge them with treason for. Not crimes yet, because they haven't been ruled on in a court. But I think that there are plenty of members of Congress, members of the Biden administration, and so on, that you could charge under Article 3, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution with treason, which has penalties up to and including death.
And I would agree. And I would say that I would say too that Fauci should be at the top of that list.
Absolutely should be looked at. Can we build a case? And there's many more. And that's just for starters. But people don't have the political will. Even when you say we need to punish criminals, you get this pushback of like, oh no, please, not the criminals. Fuck criminals.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean...
Oh, no, not the criminals, but we're going to take your guns.
Yeah, we'll take your guns. We'll take your fucking, your gas stoves, but it's okay for them to, like, rob an Amazon train and steal all the packages, right?
What? Yeah, meanwhile, I want to point this out, too, because people have short memories. So back in 2020... the criminals were allowed to like roam the streets, but you had to stay home and just doom scroll on.
I got fat. Sam, because I'm used to roaming the streets. I was roaming this. That's why I'm late. I just took me a while. But like, I'm 12 miles every other day kind of motherfucker. And they made me stay inside and I got fat. And then I had to work my ass off to lose all that fucking weight again.
Brother Max is a tomcat. He roams the streets all the time.
Did you like, if this is too personal, I don't like, you don't need to share, but like, did you get depressed during like COVID? Because a lot of people, myself included, who usually don't get depressed,
I kind of didn't really have the option because my father-in-law died right when it started, and he didn't die from COVID. And so, like, me being depressed about things would have been counterproductive because my wife was mourning.
Well,
so I kind of just, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I did get depressed once I realized that I couldn't go outside and I had gotten fat.
Yeah.
That made me depressed. And so my immediate reaction to realizing how bad of a problem was is like, I'm going to go running again, and I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. Well,
I've been running ever since, Sam.
Well, I mean, that was kind of double whammy too, grief and having to deal with that. So,
yeah, it's not to say I wasn't grieving as well, but I would say it's hard to gauge.
Right.
If we were, even for her, it's like, well, like, were you depressed during the pandemic? Well, yes, but your father passed.
Dad died. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it did make it a little bit more depressing in the fact that I had to stay in the house. It definitely made it worse that even have a funeral for my father. It definitely made it worse that my great uncle, his uncle, had to stand literally across the street on like the little street in the cemetery, like by the other stones, because there could only be a certain amount of people by the great, like,
her grandmother and I had to read a prayer because
you couldn't even have a priest.
His best friend was a pastor who could not attend because we had
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, you want his wife, his brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
His daughter, and his, like, they had a limit, and that's already it, right? His mother, his wife, his daughter, and then I was there. And then also his father had to call in on phone because we had too many people. So we actually had to do his service ourselves. So it was a little depressing, yeah. And that's the kind of fucking tyranny we're talking about.
Yeah.
People have felt it for a long time now, like half a decade. The left doesn't realize this. They think that people are just starting now to feel a little oppressed. But I'll tell you right now, everybody that lost somebody during COVID and watched that fucking garbage with that gold casket for that criminal George Floyd will never get it.
Yeah, no, me either. Also, kind of going back to the Morton and I talked about the whole Jesse Ridgway thing at the beginning of the program. Max, and I don't know if you want to weigh in, but one thing I forgot to mention on that topic real quick.
Is that Juggernauts or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do we know if it's even real at this point? Because the only thing I ever knew about this guy is all he does is viral garbage like that, where it's always fake.
Well, and yeah, we don't even know if it's real. My point that I brought up was, if it's not real, it's shitty for him to like just make up shit about, aborting a Down syndrome kid. And if it's real, it's still shitty. That's kind of
it's real, I'll say this: if it's real, the mistake you made, guys, is sharing it publicly in such a way and expecting not to be judged.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Nobody's sorry for. I'm so sick and tired of that one, Sam. Is when the public judges somebody, we're supposed to be sorry.
No, I'm not.
She thinks it was fake. I kind of think it was fake, and I think that makes them worse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. That, but
it's like when Boogie
for those that are
cancer.
unaware, I guess we should explain real quick, unless you already did, that they said that they got a test that showed there was a 50% probability that their child would be born with Down syndrome, and at 6 months, they claimed to have gotten an abortion because of this.
Yeah.
And they put out a video of them supposedly finding out where they cry.
Yeah,
That's
which
why I think it's fake.
yeah,
Most of
which
those
is
reactions.
which is why a lot of people, myself included, thinks it's fake. Here's the thing though, and why I bring it up now, and this does tie back to COVID and everything, is all these cat ladies who are screaming "My body, my choice" once again were the ones screaming
Get the fucking jab, bigot.
get the fucking jab, bigot. I said that. I said this back in 2020, and this was one of the streams that got banned from YouTube. I'll say it again, and I don't care. If you say get the jab, but then I'll say, if you say my body, my choice, but then I'll say get the jab, your argument is like null and void,
Agreed.
basically.
So I don't actually believe it's your choice. I believe we live in a fucking society. I believe we have laws. And I'm sick of the bitches that's the thing, Sam. It's we've let libertarians color code every segment of political discussion. Both sides, Sam. Think about the craziness of this. The left and the far right, both now, represent both hyper individualism and hyper collectivism at the same time.
I agree. I'm just saying even by their own logic, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I know. I'm saying we just gotta start saying we don't care. We don't care about the way you frame the argument, because cat ladies have been bullshit, backhanded, sarcastic, snarky, not saying what they mean. I retweeted one of the replies to that Zach comment where the person Strawberry Narwhal or whatever said the fish actually said that that certainly is a take after strawmanning him. And so I replied, that certainly is a take is certainly millennial coded as a way not to have a fucking argument. Sam, make any fucking statement about anything, and I'm just going to say, that certainly is a take. Fuck that shit. Fuck the fish egg. Dumb leftist bitch.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see. Yeah, I actually had someone recently say that is a take to me recently. And it was because I thought that us embracing Americana instead of Pride Month is a good thing. Which I think that is something we should celebrate. I don't know, you guys, I haven't seen Pride shit anywhere this year. It's all been American flags here. Now, of course, I live in Florida, but even a few years ago, there was woke shit out the DEI out the ass here, and now it's all World Cup stuff and American flag. Normal people stuff, basically.
Same here up in upstate New York.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, we just want to be able to go about our lives and not have to worry about crazy shit going on all the time. Not have to be annoyed by every little inconvenience to protect from petty theft everywhere because we're not fucking thieves. 98% of the population is not committing petty theft all the time, Sam. And anywhere you go, that's why it's a 2% thing. Anywhere you go, it's just a few dozen to a few hundred, maybe 1,000 people that are causing 99% of the crime. Any city in America.
Shocker.
The cops know who they are, too. They know most of them by name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They can't do anything about it because some liberal fucking prosecutor will let them go, or a social worker will intervene in the system on their behalf or whatever, bleeding heart this, oh, poor thing that, and next thing you know, they got 27 felonies, and they got let out 27 times, and then they kill some lady, and you're like, how could this happen?
Yeah.
Or Carmelo Anthony, shocking, you're not allowed to stab people in the chest.
By the way, so the interesting thing about Carmelo Anthony, Max, do you know that he was middle, like, he wasn't like a poor black kid from the, like, inner city.
No.
This was like a middle, this was like an upper middle class even, kid.
Yeah.
And yet,
Suburban, let's say suburban, like
suburban.
a lot of people would consider middle class, upper middle class, yeah.
Well, yeah. My point being is, like, BLM was like trying to act as if he was like some, poor kid from the projects.
They played it both ways, didn't they?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
He's a good kid. He's a scholar. Also, he's the poor kid from the ghetto. But neither of those are true.
Yeah. Wouldn't that matter if he was? It's wouldn't that matter if he was or wasn't?
The defense in his I'm going to be honest, Sam. It looks like the defense in his case just threw anything at the wall that might present reasonable doubt and prayed and knew that they were going to lose.
Yeah,
that's my read on it. It took 3 hours for that jury to deliberate. It wasn't exactly a fucking complicated case.
No, not at all. And the other thing too,
especially in Texas.
Well, the other thing too is like a lot of black people, like not the activists on Twitter, but just like normal black people were like, yeah, this guy's a scumbag. Like,
everybody I know is like, why are people defending him? And I mean black people. They're just like, why are you defending him? He's not, because I don't know. I know a lot of black people that could point you to people that are getting fucked over by the system, that actually are. Right? And that they actually care about that. And then it's like, oh, this kid, no, he's not getting fucked over. He acted a fool.
By the way, I opened up the caller queue for people who want to call in, and we actually do have a caller on the line.
Oh, sick.
First caller to the program, technically, although he's been a guest before, Mr. Jed Revenwolf.
Nice.
So, Jed, caller, you're on the air. Welcome.
Bro, I would have took a link over calling in. Okay.
I know, but I
know. He just wanted to say he had a caller.
Yeah, I wanted.
No, he just said he wanted to have that.
I see what you're doing, Sam.
Yeah, he put that out there because he knew I would take the bank. So.
I love it.
Why did you give me
always thinking?
Yeah,
it's so easy to fall afoul of his little traps.
Next time, just send me a link, bro. I'm in the group, okay?
I will, but I just want to see how I wanted to see if the caller queue worked and.
Oh, so he knew I was watching because I said so, and so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put the link out there." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
let me go for it.
well, we have a few people on. We have a few people on, YouTube as well. So I sent the link out there as well. But yeah, what is your take on a lot of it, on really any of this stuff? I mean,
dude, I'm just gonna say, all we want to do is drink some beers, chill with our family, smoke a little bit of weed if you got it, brother, and or do whatever, and just chill and have fun. We don't want to be stressed out with all this radical bullshit all the time, man.
Yeah. Really,
I'll point out an example of this, right? He's right on the money. Remember during the pandemic, they told everybody basically not to have 4th of July because you'd be around other people.
Mm-hmm.
They canceled all that motherfucking shit. But anywhere you went, this is America, motherfucker. I'll tell you, right down the street, all the homies just went down to the park and we blew off fireworks all fucking night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we there, dude. Arizona was lit up with fucking fireworks. They couldn't stop it, and they were pissed.
You could see like aerial footage of like even LA
Yeah.
Leftists, they might be. See, these are things we all agree upon.
Yeah.
As you looked over LA and it's just city by city from Oakland all the way down.
Yeah.
Fucking fireworks blowing up over the whole place because you cannot stop the American spirit to celebrate how awesome we are.
If you saw New Year's and the 4th of July these last 2 years, they're lit up every year. They had to call the police out because it got so bad. Because nobody would stop through, especially on the 4th of July and New Year's.
And I think the pandemic thing had to do with that because that's a lot for a lot of people. That's the first time during the pandemic when they were told they couldn't have fireworks that they did it themselves.
Yeah.
And realize, hey, it's not the safest thing in the world, but if you take precautions, it's actually pretty easy and you never get caught.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Whether it's legal or not. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is illegal where I live to shoot off fireworks like that, but it's perfectly legal in New Hampshire to buy them. So there's like, you drive across the state line in New Hampshire, there is literally fireworks shops on the state line.
Arizona used to have that law until like maybe 5-10 years ago, 20 years ago, where you could go buy it, but you could shoot them off, which made no fucking sense.
You could buy them, but you couldn't shoot it. That's the law in Florida, actually. Like right now, you can buy them, but you're not supposed to.
You're not allowed to buy.
They changed the law on that now, where you can they sell them everywhere, and you can just shoot them off.
Based.
Yeah.
Well,
let me tell you how crazy Massachusetts is on this.
Yeah.
2 years ago, they banned the little popper snappers and the little snakes.
Yeah.
And sparklers.
Yeah.
But then you go to New Hampshire, and New Hampshire has no law, and there's a giant fireworks store on both sides of the highway when you get there with signs telling you buy here.
Yeah.
And then you just drive back into Massachusetts and blow up the neighborhood like a good American.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Sam, we're getting hyped up July 4th right now. But I'd love to remind everybody that it's another great opportunity to celebrate America this weekend on Juneteenth.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Indeed. Man, we've had
and that's the thing. They told us normies that we couldn't celebrate shit, but the big wigs got to celebrate Obama's birthday.
So,
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
These stupid motherfuckers want to tell us now, we can or can't how to celebrate Juneteenth. But these stupid motherfuckers didn't even know what the cookout was about because they wasn't invited.
Well, also,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe not.
Also, a lot of these lefties on Twitter are also screaming about the UFC thing, like.
That was fucking pathetic, Sam, where they were all crying. He goes, "This disgraces." I was like, motherfucker, do you know our founding fathers had sword duels and guns, and they would do all this other shit? They killed people.
Them they were gonna have fist fights in front of the White House for the 250th. They would be like, hell yeah, brother.
Dude, Lincoln was a boxer.
Yeah.
Yes.
He fought nonstop. You're going to tell me Lincoln wouldn't have appreciated that shit for 250 at the White House? He would have loved that shit.
Bro,
our founding fathers were into that shit.
Obama had Jay-Z play hip-hop at the White House. Now, if Obama had turned around and had UFC fights instead, they'd all said it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. So a few of the lefties, I want to get a little more specific. They were complaining that like you had to pay to watch the fights and that it should be free because it's because it's a federal thing and it should be taxpayer funded. Yeah. I want to point out that like I don't mind that the UFC how like private event. What I do mind is like these same people who are complaining at that had no problem with like fucking trannies like doing strip shows.
Let's just point this out for that one thing. They had literal guys over there with tits that got implants at the White House. Biden did that.
Flashing.
Yeah. But you put like You put guys doing bikes in the air and guys beating the shit out of each other, celebrating. You have the flag. You have red, white, and blue like jet trails, and the thing comes over and everybody's saying, God bless America. No, that's too extreme. Let's get the crannies out on the lawn with their tits out. You know.
Let me have a different angle on this, Sam.
Yeah.
So they're saying that them having to pay for it because it's a federal program is terrible, huh? So when are we getting those free tickets to the Kennedy Center?
Yeah.
When,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are they fucking serious? Like, they don't have VIP only super expensive events when they're in charge all the fucking time?
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Right. At least this one, instead of paying $50,000 a plate for a fundraiser, you paid whatever Paramount or whatever cost for a fucking weekend, and you could watch the fights.
Yeah, it's still up there on Paramount. So.
I got 99 cents for 2 months.
Hey, there you go. And it's like, okay, but then they used to have all these, like I say, at the Kennedy Center. This is why that's been a battle for them with Trump, by the way. A lot of people don't understand that, but they've been using it as their like bastion of showing off wealth and lording over people for years in the Washington elite circle. Like, basically, if you're not part of the Kennedy Center crew for the performing arts, who are you really? Now he added Trump to it. They're mad as fuck. But let me tell you something. You weren't about to pay $50,000 to go see a performance there, were you, Sam?
No, but not
that's federally funded.
Well, not
they didn't stream it. There was no way for you to see those performances. So fuck those people and their stupid logic.
Well, not just that, Max. The funny thing to go
to a national park too.
Yeah.
The funny thing at the Kennedy Center and what Trump is doing with that is Trump is actually like renovating parts of the Kennedy Center because surprise, the elites let their own house like get dilapidated.
Well, that you saw what they complained about the where he just cleaned up the water and everything. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many people said that Trump was a fascist for cleaning that up? And I'm like, are you fucking high? Really? A fascist for cleaning up something that Obama and Biden left it deteriorate for years?
Yeah.
You could argue it went back Bush and Clinton too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like that shit's been falling apart for a long time. Nobody seemed to give a shit. Trump's like, hey, let's just clean that up. It's not that big of a project.
And I also want to point out, speaking about praising America right here, we have a lot of people coming out to the U.S. for the World Cup and shit, right?
Oh my God, that's been fun.
You know I was going to bring that up, Sam. You knew I was going to bring that up because Jay's been having it on Welcome to the Rebellion every fucking single morning about everybody going, oh my God, America's wonderful. This isn't like how it is in Europe and all these other shitholes we're coming from. They're seeing, oh my God, you get free refills on drinks? Oh my God, they're giving out free samples at Costco and all these other places? Oh my God, you can get chicken and waffles? Oh my God, there's ranch. Oh my God,
you're not gonna get arrested for not tipping.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, there's somebody that the guy's driving around. He stepped out of his truck for a minute and his truck didn't get stolen. Like, what the fuck?
No.
Oh my God, I can put cheese on everything.
Yeah, I know.
My favorite one, the best one I've seen so far is, oh my God, you can turn the AC on, you can turn the thermostat down in the Airbnb, and you're not gonna get locked out by the
yeah. Oh, I saw that. Jay showed this the other day on Welcome to the Rebellion. Go to Drunk 3PO, go Welcome to the Rebellion channel, hook that up.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to promote Jay.
Promote him.
Dude, Jay's my brother. He's my brother. I give him shit all the time like I do Sam. So,
Yeah.
Go watch. It's Monday through Friday. It's 6 a.m. Arizona time, 8 a.m. Eastern. Today he had one, but it came too late and I fell asleep. But I'm usually in there every single morning, mouthing off and doing all this other stuff. Oh, and also watch Culture. He does the 6-minute daily, so he talks about all the bullshit that Jay, me, and everybody else talk about, but in a faster, thing. But besides that, I got my shilling out of the way. But what I was saying is, he said this. He saw one where this guy was sitting in air conditioning, eating ranch and chicken and waffles, and he had country music on in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he goes, and there was an American flag that he bought at a store, and he put it up in the hotel room, and he goes, I can't do this in Europe, and I don't have the fear of some person coming in, knocking down my door, beating me up, and taking my shit either.
I suspect that we're gonna get applications for a lot of
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
New-
especially
new-
did you
new
see some of those
immigrants.
women that came over here? And they're like, oh my, especially the chicks that were going to the restaurants. There was this really hot fucking blonde, big tits, nice ass. She was built. She goes, oh my God, I never had chicken. Yeah, you saw that one, bro?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
dude.
did.
She was like fucking just bloody dope. I was, wow. I was like, and there she's like, I want to go to all the restaurants. I want to have barbecue. I was like, damn, girl.
Yeah.
Because America's fucking awesome, and we're
It
sick
is.
and tired of motherfuckers saying it's not.
Yeah.
Well,
Max.
It's got problems. We're not sitting here pretending there ain't no problems. It's just this is America.
I want to point
Yeah.
out, every
Yeah,
place
I
has
agree.
problems on the face of the earth. Every place has problems. It's what you deal with those fucking problems when the problem comes up. And
What?
our president has been dealing with this shit because he has a backlog of bullshit up until when Reagan left that he has to fucking deal with, that he's been trying to deal with, of a 40-year backlog of trying to fix everything.
Speaking of which, Sam, I don't think we've even touched on the fact that there's a fucking deal with Iran.
I
thought
again?
fucking,
Yeah.
the I hate Trump for everything now because Israel Wright said that there would never be any such thing, and it's just going to be an endless war for Zion.
Well, Tucker's been awfully
Israel's trying to fuck it up intentionally. That's what happened.
You know, Tucker's just a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to, because I'm like, I was basically not big on one side or the other of this issue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people got on my case about this, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, we've been critical of both sides of the whole thing, and we just want the war to end. And we've also been praising of Trump for not having boots on the ground is my big red line in the sand. And if it ends without that, I'm happy. And if that makes people mad, all the better.
Yeah, so apparently there's a deal now. Also, Trump wished for world peace on his birthday.
Yeah, you know how many people that pissed off? I saw multiple people. He's a warmonger. All he wants is war. I'm like, fucking, this man has done more than any of our presidents, besides Reagan and stuff, to earn peace. Peace through strength. You know?
Yeah, and some might even argue more than Reagan.
Yeah, he has.
In some cases.
He has
And
more
I
than
think that
Reagan.
for a lot of people, what they don't realize is we don't have much time left with him in that role.
Yeah, and I'm scared. But like,
And
I'm going to be honest.
I was literally going to say to that end, and may the Lord or whatever you believe in watch over us after that point, because who fills his shoes next?
Yep.
Well, you know, I'm sorry, brother. JD, okay, I'm going to point this. JD may fill those shoes, but he needs to have a good, strong vice president.
I agree. That's
you got to have the whole reason why Trump and JD work, because JD he's like, I'm there. I got your back, brother. Boom, boom, boom. Right? You need a good right hand. You need the other part of the equation.
I'm
not trying to rule him or anybody out. I'm just saying the way we'll know will actually be by results down the line. Yeah,
well, you know they're gonna try to cheat their ass off on this one because they don't want JD coming in. I'm making a prediction. Okay. Newsom's gonna get further in than people thought, because to the normies, it sounds good because they don't fucking know better. They're not informed. It's kind of like these motherfuckers that go to the Disney Star Wars bullshit. Oh, it's Baby Yoda, but they don't know the true bullshit of happened that go through.
And he corrects a couple of things they think are wrong, actually, with their prior candidates. So
Yeah.
like they felt like Kamala was too far with the black woman thing, and
Yeah.
they felt like obviously Biden was old and that was a negative for him. So
Yeah.
they've picked a straight white male, presumably. Whatever anyone wants to say about Gavin.
Oh, a straight white male that likes to sniff kids, okay? You know. So.
Yeah, and he's not nearly as old, but he definitely does as many gaffes as Biden.
Yeah.
He reeks of used car salesman though.
Whoa, no. Remember that American Psycho movie?
Yes.
That's what Newsom is.
Yeah.
And he's totally American Psycho, brother.
And even in that film, the part of what makes that film memorable is that the guy fools everybody, or at least a lot of people. And yeah, so you're right. Like, especially for like rank and file Democrat voters, they don't even look enough into these people.
No, they don't. I said that Jay was talking about this in Welcome to the Rebellion, and he goes, the scary thing is a lot of people aren't going to look into Newsom. They're going to look at his credentials and say, oh, he's done this and this, but not look deeper in that and how he's absolutely destroyed California.
Well, and that's why you guys, like, that's why I've been like kind of screaming at like all these people on the right who want a purity spiral and say that Trump isn't like based enough or whatever, because it's like, what the fuck do you mean Trump isn't based enough? Like, how much more based? You know,
they're still gonna sit there and say that when he literally tells Netanyahu, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, no,
he literally told Netanyahu, "You're gonna do like I don't know if you've seen the interviews and stuff, Sam.
Yes,
but he both privately and publicly told Netanyahu, if you fucking keep attacking Lebanon and hitting fucking apartment buildings when you could hit just the apartment, we're gonna have a fucking problem."
Yeah, no, I've
never seen a U.S. president tell the prime minister of Israel off in such strong terms in my life, and these motherfuckers are still like, he likes Juju cum.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, it's a grift. That's the thing. Is like,
it
is Tucker and Candace and all these, like, they don't care, and it's all about, I need more grifter money for
Oh, and Candace is like the worst one out of all of them, basically, to a point.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I want to pull that back because me and Sam are going to agree on this one.
Well, yeah,
Fuentes. I'm going to put Fuentes in there too.
Well, Fuentes is a Democrat now. Like he's
so,
which is fitting considering
as if he wasn't the whole time.
Yeah, no, he was an undercover Democrat. Let's be honest.
He wasn't very hard undercover. His cover of being a Democrat was about as loose as his cover of being a straight guy.
Yeah, I know. It's just fucking ridiculous.
It's like anybody looks at him for 2 seconds.
Me and Sam have a friend, not gonna name names, that like him a lot, but then whenever our friend would say something about this certain person, we would call him on his bullshit.
I've been proven right a lot the last couple of years, not just about him, but my mantra: all Nazis are gay.
Yes.
And every fucking time, man, like if somebody, and I don't mean the way the left uses Nazi, I mean the people that declare themselves to be Nazis in some fashion.
Yeah.
Every fucking time they're gay, trans, or into something really weird.
And I want to put, or they're furries, or they're a certain amount within a certain age range from 16 all the way up to 24. Within
some
that
type of degeneracy that I don't particularly favor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think this, and I still think certain ops programs are being done by the government to make these motherfuckers crazy. Sam, so I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it isn't the government that we know. It's the I don't want to get you banned off you. I don't want you to get banned off YouTube. You know what I'm gonna.
No, I call out the CIA all the time, but we've also had like FBI agents. They're very vocal in our criticism of the law enforcement establishment.
Yes, they are, along with Soros and all these other fucking pricks. Well, and that's the reason why Elon is such a threat to them, because he knows their bullshit. He's been around it. He's seen it. And that is the reason why Elon is such a threat to them.
People are not going to realize how big that Doge was for a long time.
Yeah.
Like cutting all of those because what most of those, see, we went through the list of the silly programs and we did laughing at it. My wife compiled a list of the funniest bullshit ones. But at the end of the day, see, Jed knows just like I do. At the end of the day, most of that silly bullshit never existed. And this was some type of black fucking funding for some type of operation that they do outside of the purview of the government.
I want to point out that's the reason why
they
you
just
don't
didn't
see
want to admit what they were doing.
the USAID was one of those programs, and you don't see that shit no more. And what happened to all these places that were getting funding? They're gone. You don't hear about them no more, do you?
Man, you would think that there'd be all these riots because of the Carmelo Anthony case, but funny enough, there wasn't. They tried so hard to get them riled up, but it didn't happen. I wonder why.
Well, they tried, but see that's the other thing too is, like, as much as I complain out,
not as much funding for pallets of bricks this year.
Well, because Soros and a few others they're handling the whole load now. It's not just USAID and the other thing and the other thing. They basically shut them down in our government, so now they have to even take more of the heavy load. And then even BlackRock was like, it ain't worth it right now, bro.
Well, the other,
don't trust them because they always got some shit on the side that they're waiting.
Well, the other thing though too that I don't think there are very many people are taking into account, as much as I complain about Twitter's algorithm being like messed up somewhat, I will say, like I said earlier, normal black voices that are not activists were able to get actual traction and say no, we don't support Carmelo Anthony. That was a big thing, because I will tell you, any moderate black American who wasn't in favor of all the BLM stuff, radical in the past, they were throttled just as much as we were.
And that's the thing is, most of them would have at some point been like, I support BLM, because I've gone on about this on the show, I have friends, this is how they would explain it, is when they first encountered that idea, BLM, Black Lives Matter, they were thinking, yeah, I don't like getting my ass beat because on account of my color of my skin either. That's what they meant by it. But what then they saw was this organization called BLM did a whole bunch of shit they didn't actually sign up for. And what a lot of people don't realize is not everybody marching in the streets for BLM was there because they cared about that organization. They were there because, they do, especially in inner cities. And look, I got black friends that live out here in a suburban area environment like myself, and they do feel slightly ever so much targeted more by the cops. And that's because sometimes they are.
Yeah, that's true. Because I live out here in Arizona, and if you're Latino or black, you get targeted more because I'm going to point it out. That's who causes most of the crime out here.
Yeah, you can't help. The cops on one hand can't help that their biases, because it's pretty much anywhere that there's a lot of crime, it's usually minority groups.
Yeah, and they're like, well, why doesn't but here's the thing. I'm pointing out. There's a lot of white people to do dirty shit too, so let's not do that. Fair. So we got to be fair on that shit.
There's actually more. It's just per capita.
But it's also hidden undercover because, let's be honest, a lot of the minorities ain't that smart sometimes. White people like to hide shit so you don't see it for years. Okay.
Well,
I'm not being racist. I'm just stating a fact.
Right.
Well, this is kind of what I was talking about with the 2%er problem.
Yeah.
We're talking about the 2%ers now, and they cut across race. But there is a good proportion of them. Now, the 2%er is the type of person you're talking about that literally walks into Walmart, doesn't realize there's security cameras, steals a bunch of shit, walks out. The cop walks right up to him. You've watched this whole thing on the body cam, and they're like, run, I didn't do nothing, blah, 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 blah. They get let out, and they keep doing it again and again and again. Those kind of people. And they come in all flavors. And my policy actually solves the problem of it being race-based on account of, I think we lock people up for the behavior.
You had people for their own merit. If you see them do wrong, they're cut out for a while. If you see somebody trying to help somebody, That's based on your merit. You were trying to be a good person to help that person stop that other person. If you fuck around and find out, you get a timeout. You get put in the corner, Billy. Okay.
Like, you ever watch these fucking body cams? That's basically how cops have to talk to them.
Yeah.
No, you don't get to fucking hit me.
No.
Now get in the fucking car. And they're like, Daniel, oh, please, you're hurting me. I don't fucking care. Get in the fucking car. We're going to fucking jail.
And I'm going to point this out.
And then that stupid, prosecutor problem comes up where they let the guy out,
That's because they're all paid up from higher up.
Yep.
To do this. So, and a lot of that shit was Biden and Obama's fault right there. Those are the two motherfuckers that increased that rate of just all this bullshit. He's like, he was worse than fucking Nixon. Okay, Obama was like putting the two fingers up. I'm not a crook, but on the side, he's fucking some dude that made him a dude a wife and all this other bullshit, and then was doing all these dirty deals backwards and like, I'm good. I'm gonna give you Obama phones and all this other.
And you don't even need to talk about fucking conspiracies to talk about Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
To talk about all of these documented Obama administration scams.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
The energy bill, the Obama energy bill, scam. Obamacare, scam. People are like, oh, the state of the fucking insurance industry, as if Obamacare isn't the state of the insurance industry, as if what we had before that never existed. Now, anybody my age or a little bit older understands that before Obamacare, we paid a hell of a lot less.
Yeah, we did. And then that's the bill, like, well, we're going to pay less. I was like, no, we paid less beforehand. This was all put in place to bring more people down so the companies, the corporos, and the side back people in the back, they were doing the black ops bullshit, can fund more into the stupid bullshit that is against us in freedom.
Now, 2005, Sam, I was paying about $100 a month.
Yeah.
As a man, single, for healthcare. Mm-hmm. That's it. And I had what you would call the Cadillac plan.
Yep. We actually discussed this, like, I think a few years ago.
Sam, your mic went up really high.
Years ago.
Your mic went up.
I know,
really
he's
up.
real loud and crisp now.
Dude, what did you fucking do to your mic, bro?
Oh, I just leaned further ahead. So,
but he needed more of his sultry, dulcet.
It's like, you're gonna get all the girls wet out there, Sam. You got to stop it, bro.
Ladies.
Well,
that
is my plan. Also, I
don't love his books.
I don't have any of the books on the shelf with me. However, you can buy American Inferno available on Amazon.
Yeah.
And you can also pre-order Vengeance in Venezuela now.
Yeah.
Also, check out my interview from Monday with Rowan Gibson.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that, Sam. I watched that. A phenomenal interview. Great.
Apologies for the echo on my end. I don't know what happened, but still a really good interview.
Yeah. Like, the content of the interview, like, was really good.
And you have been vindicated, sir, by a 30-year ad executive on your use of Suno, which is dope, I think.
What was the take on Suno? I want to hear this.
So, Rowan Gibson, for those who don't know, he's an author and also like a business keynote speaker. He's been in advertising for like 30 years, and
basically he knows his shit.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
Yeah,
he is ad man extraordinaire.
Yeah. He was a big proponent of the internet back in the 90s when people thought it was
shit, I remember that now.
When people thought
I remember his name.
When people thought it was a fad.
Yeah.
And now he's been a big proponent of AI. And so one of the things is he wrote a spy thriller that's a spin-off of kind of James Bond. And he was explaining that when he was making his promo material, like he used Grok Video to do it, and he also used Suno AI, the music app, to write a theme song for his character, because he said that like trying to actually like hire an artist to do that would have cost like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
Okay, because I have a buddy that has a studio for YouTube, and he gets real people coming in there, and it costs a whole lot more. And he said, I wish I would have started out with Suno at the beginning, because that would have cut a lot of the cost out. But he goes, sometimes I really do like to have real people come in, because you got to have that human feeling. Not saying that it does, but sometimes you can actually tell if Suno is, you can tell it by there's certain things that Suno does, the AI does, that a human won't do.
I have kind of like a take from both perspectives, because
that's what I was just about to say. There's a take on both perspectives.
I've been making music a long time, and I've been using Suno for a lot of my current releases on Spotify and things like that. We're doing all right. You can check us out, Right to Offend, on Spotify, as well as Max Sand. And the thing is I find I get the best results when I take the beats that I've been making on my synth with my Pro Tools and such, and then use my real vocals, and then use the features of Suno that is more like production level, like auto tune.
Yeah, you can tell, because whenever somebody sends me something, I'm like, okay, that's AI. They're like, how do you know? I hear it. You can hear it. Yeah.
And it's also like people can get better results that sound more like mine through prompting too. Like they call it prompt engineering or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I find people like a lot of the stuff that I make, and it's real simple as to why, is because like I said, I'm using a lot of my real synth sounds that I've recorded, my melodies, my drums. And then also, is that I know a lot of musical theory and language to able to communicate it with the bot through styling, to make sure that it, because a lot of times what people get out of it is because they don't know how to describe the sound they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like very specific, like I need it 68 beats per minute, I want like Rhodes keys, an 808 bass.
Yeah.
I need the melody to be from this sample. Like you get real granular with it. It's basically like you were kind of hinting at there. It's like for me, I have my computer and my little synth.
Yeah.
Now I have access to Rick Rubin studio and every studio musician on my beck and call. It has improved my production game so much so that I've published the music for the first time. Not all of it. Most of it's probably like what I actually publish on like iTunes and stuff is like 80 or 90% mine and 10% polish of AI.
I'm going to point this out too on YouTube, and I'm going to say this because I think of AI as a tool. We do not. Okay, it's a tool. This is me, and Sam's heard me say this multiple times. I've said this on like Roadhouse and on Cocktail Lounge and other places when it started up. It is a tool. It needs to be used as a tool. But when you have AI run governments or the military, and that's when we're going to have Terminator. That bullshit's going to start.
And that's exactly Rowan. That's kind of exactly Rowan's take, and that's my take as well.
Yeah.
I mean, as an indie author, same thing. Like I use, the more granular I get with my prompts, the better it is. And I mean, I've talked to people I know in government about
they're scared.
The fears.
They're scared. I know because me and Sam, me and you have some connections at places when we talk to people, right?
Yeah,
there are people that are scared.
And part of the problem,
rightfully so.
Yeah,
I've mentioned this many a times now about the AI music specifically, is when I first started making music with a synthesizer in a computer in the 90s as a kid, people told me that, one, hip hop isn't real music, and then two, making music with a computer isn't real music.
And those
people are proven wrong by the state of the music.
I want to point out one other thing that our teacher said to us: when you'll never have a computer in your pocket all the time, right?
or variation, a calculator. You'll never have a calculator.
A phone is a small computer, you know?
Yeah.
Now,
There's a lot more than the calculating.
yeah. Oh, and I want to point out on over on YouTube, Sam, Johnny asked a question. Did you see Tucker interviewed? You know.
Yes,
I don't want YouTube to hit me for saying that because I know it don't like that word.
Yes, and I replied to Johnny and said that I actually tweeted out a few months ago that when Tucker interviewed Owen Benjamin, I said, "Oh look, it's one crazy grifter interviewing another."
Wait, we both said that, and then our other friend got mad when we said that.
Yeah,
he got literally mad at us. It was like, and Joe was in the background. He's like, "No, they're right." And then I heard this, like in the background.
Yeah. Also,
in terms of the music, one thing I've noticed, Sam, is I've talked to people about it in real life, right? And nobody even asks.
Yeah.
Like people, they actually play my shit at the pot shop now because I was talking to the security guard homie about it.
That's awesome, brother.
That is
and like I have a song called "I Want to Get High," so like I was like, "Hey," well, no, it's "I Want to Get High." Hey, it's a song. Actually, I made it for my wife's show, Sandwich Makers. I was making music just to play in the background while she did crafts. And this was like, 4 or 5 years ago, before AI was even viable for this sort of thing. And I just put together a bunch of like background music, right?
Yeah.
And one of them was, I had samples of like, "I want to get high, I want to get high." And I put it together. And when I re-recorded it, that was my single for 420, actually. I put it out on 420. And they play that in the fucking playlist on the pot shop. Cool thing is, Sam, the pot shop has like a full DJ radio set up with like bass and shit. So sometimes when I walk in there, they be playing my songs.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I also want to point out when. Oh, go ahead.
I have to ask more. Why did you decide to flashbang me during the show with Anita's?
Because I got flashbanged.
Wait, how did you flashbang him? What context in flashbang? Because there's several different.
They play this game of "I had to see it, you do now too."
Oh, I've done that to Sam a bunch.
Yeah,
okay. I'll send him.
So
some
whatever it is, it's probably not something.
And I just showed him Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, I showed him one really fucking thing up on Twitter, and he's like, "What the fuck, Jed?" Like,
I just ask they don't do it when it's about women's appearances because I'm a married guy and I just don't like that.
Well,
like I had to see it, you do too, and it's like some half-naked fat broad, and I'm like, no, I didn't have to see that actually.
That's kind of how I feel about Anita Sarkeesian though too. So
fair enough.
She's not hot though, bro. She's not.
No, not at all. That's why.
Anita Sarkeesian.
It's nice.
She's like the middest ever.
No, I think the one that's fucking bothering Smash all the time is really mid. Because she thinks she's a shit because she was a sex worker and shit. You know? You know what I'm saying, Sam? You know who I'm talking about.
I know.
We're not saying the name because, there's a reason.
Do we have any pictures of Anita without like all that caked on makeup? Because I reckon she might be way more hideous that way.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say this. The reason why women do that is because to make them look good. Okay, because that's the reason why women cake all that shit on is because they look fugly instead of letting their natural beauty go. Hey, one guy, there's always one guy on the face of the planet will think, hey, that chick is hot, when all your other 500 friends are like, no, put a bag over that bitch and send her on her way. Okay,
also shout out to the Melanie Max simp who decided to yell at me today for calling her out on her Bible grifting.
Oh, dude, I got, what was it? One morning, I went on a rampage and welcomed the rebellion, and Jay was like, okay, bro, you're getting a little bit more.
I want to show them. So she went and found it, and I don't know how well you can see, but she
I can
definitely
see.
has goblinish features there.
That's the reason why she had all that shit caked on.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit gets. That's a whole. That's
She
a
had to
whole.
fill in the gap, like when you're putting drywall up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and a lot of women do that, and like consider my 50 years of bullshit, and Sam knows this. Me and Sam been around the block a few times. Okay. But
We all have here, I think.
I know we all been around the block, so we know when you see that caked on,
Oh, yeah.
red flag. That's one red flag. Alrighty. If she got so much make on, that means she. How is it like that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Will goes on a date with that chick and he gets trapped in that thing, and one by one her hair, her lashes, her makeup, and all that shit comes off, and he's like, "What the fuck, bitch?"
I think the ultimate red flag though is screaming about video games at the UN. That's a
bro.
pretty big red flag.
How dare you?
So
Red flag for women.
Screaming about video games at the UN while not being a gamer.
Yeah.
Well, like young men, here's a shorter list of red flags with women.
Yeah.
If woman into extreme politics, any kind,
bounce, brother.
Red
bounce.
flag.
Go, get the fuck out of there.
Yes.
Even if it's agreement with yours 100%, red flag.
Now,
I learned that the hard way too.
Now, if you're feeling with your dudes, because guys talk about politics, Bible, and all this other shit all the time. Like, that's just natural for guys. But if you see a woman that's heavily into that shit, run the fucking other way, brother. Run as fast as you can and don't look back.
My wife didn't have serious political opinions, to be honest, until like she was pregnant.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to say this. That's a biological change in there, though. There's a lot of women on the left, but the minute they pop out a kid, they're like, all of a sudden, they lean right, and they're a Republican, and they want what's best for the fucking earth and shit.
Conservative Christian-ish to begin with. So
they start reading the Bible, and then they just totally change because they're responsible for another life on the face of the earth now. So they can't fuck that up.
They all seemed like I was in like 2 different mommy groups on Facebook while I was pregnant, and all of the women seemed completely fucking normal. Like I was able to share like, you know, fertility issue stories and everything. You know,
they were quite supportive up to a point.
Until
a point.
The point being,
I went home and shared with the group, "Hey, we're having a boy. I'm really excited." And then I basically got told I needed to murder my child because I couldn't bring another man into the world.
Yep, because they're all fucking man. There's a lot of women nowadays. I'm sorry that happened. By the way,
write comments in the thing, like all of them just telling me, "Get an abortion. You can't bring another." Like sending me videos of some crazy fucking chick with short blonde hair saying some shit about like if you see a baby boy out in the street, you should beat them up or kill them or some shit. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And then it was like feminism. And I was like, well, then I denounce feminism. Fuck you guys. You're fucking crazy. And then I went to Max and I was like, has it always been like this? And I was just blind to it. Pretty much, yeah.
It literally has been like this. Yeah. The guys know, us guys know about that. We always see this all the time. We grew up with this. We've been through this. You know,
it's literally why I would choose you, because I know that there's so many crazy bitches out there. Like their like extreme politics for especially a woman in their 20s as the one biggest red flag. And it's crazy to me. These young guys will tell me, I need a girl that I need the trad wife that already agrees with me, pre-made. And I'm like, no, you don't, because she's pre-made like that by somebody else.
Even the right wing chicks are a bit crazy. Who are like
because so many of them are pick-me's. They don't actually believe in what they're saying.
Almost all of them.
But like she,
not only Mac.
Okay, that's a fake. I
dodged a few bullets.
Yeah, I've already died. I got out of a bullet situation after 2 years.
They're trying to bait her into getting mad about Melanie Mac again, but it's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, okay, and I'm gonna say this. Because I'm really good friends with a lot of people, and like, I hate talking shit about people that I've been on stream with and shit, but there's a little bit of a mental disability with her, and the whole marriage and everything does not match up. I'm just saying. It
Well,
does, and all the sus shit he said about wanting to be a gay guy a lot. Oh, I feel so gay at this. No, a lot of that shit don't stack up.
Well, to be fair,
it is your
Yeah.
second gay guy.
to be fair, that's not at all what Maxine's bad about.
Yeah.
She actually feels quite sympathetic about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What she doesn't like is she thinks that Melody's quite a hypocrite.
Oh, she is just like a certain person named Chrissy that lies to everybody all the time.
And
I didn't know about that bullshit. Bullshit, bitch! You knew about
Yeah.
that the whole time. Literally,
And she-
people were telling you the blow by blow. She was on a stream about like.
Yeah,
she, from the moment she saw her, didn't like it that she basically adopted the Christian goth girl identity because that's basically Maxine in a nutshell, and she called it out as being fake. And you know, like she even has a song that is basically about Melanie Mac called "Gilded Gospel Glam," and the line is that she, you wear your Bible like merch, or you wave your Bible around like merch.
You wear your costume cross like gold and Bible in your hand like merch.
Yeah, and that's what she doesn't like. It's like Melanie Mac is literally there holding a Bible, going da 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 da, and talking about like you shouldn't be like a lecherous alcoholic, and I'm like, well, you work for one.
Yeah.
Glass houses is all I'm saying.
And well, and then when you try and call her out on it, she's like, "Do nothing to see here."
She blocked me years ago because when she did the video where she said faggot, I literally thought she said fatty, and I was defending her.
Wait, okay, when you saw one of the original ones, there were people that heard fatty and faggot, and I was laughing at people who heard that because a lot of people heard the two.
I thought she said fatty because the word does not come easily out of her mouth.
No.
She pronounced it wrong. So that's what she said to me. She's like, no, I said that. And I was like, well, it sounds like you don't usually use that word. I was actually giving her like yes, I'm being provocative. I don't normally say that word. And she blocked me. And I'm like, look, I say that word so much, I've had to tone it down when I'm on a stream, lady.
Yeah.
You don't sound like you say it very much.
No, she has to get it. Okay, you can okay, when me and especially when
like a teenage girl going, tee-hee, I said poopy.
Yeah, well, Sam knows the words that come out of my mouth aren't forced; they come out naturally. Okay?
Well,
yeah.
Well, this goes back to like this goes back to what we were saying in the beginning of the show about like friends like like roughhouse. My friends and I used to call each other faggot as like a term of endearment. I mean, not quite, but like almost like dude, stop being like don't be a faggot, know. Or
well, and it's funny because for most millennials and Gen X men, what that meant was being emasculated or being
right.
It didn't have anything like I know some gay dudes I would never call that because despite them sucking dick, they just aren't.
Well, no,
they don't act like little effeminate weirdos. You know?
When my friends and I started using it in middle school, some of us, I don't think even like we kind of knew what gay was, but like not really. It wasn't like a concept.
See, back in the day, we would at some point find out what gay was. Now
right,
they're trying to teach it to kids. Remember when you found out what gay was, guys? Am I the only one that laughed hysterically at the very notion of it?
Well,
I thought it was like I thought it was like wait, what?
because by that point you already have been to some degree you have to understand normal sex, right?
Yeah.
To understand gay sex. And
Yep.
so when it's explained, and it was in high school, it was in like a health class, and they explained, and I was like, wait a minute. You mean he puts it in the butt? Another dude's butt? And I got kicked out of class. But anyway, I laughed all the way down to the principal's office, and I got suspended because I couldn't stop laughing.
When I found out when I found what it was, my reaction was like, but why? Because I couldn't comprehend
Because they're gay.
well, but like from my perspective, like I couldn't like comprehend like how can guys not like women?
Yeah, seriously.
Like that just
Well, and at
Women are
some
great.
point, as a man, like you get over that and you're like, okay, I get it. They can't like women the way that I can't like men. And
Right.
okay, some wires crossed somewhere. I get it or something.
Yeah,
what I
but-
never
yeah.
understood, and I still don't, is this whole rainbow movement.
that none of us under none,
I
none of us
understand a gay
The,
man.
the whole rainbow movement was produced and made in a factory and all this other bullshit that it was not natural. It didn't come by natural. It
Yeah.
years of evolution to it got to the point in like 2020 somewhere where it reached its zenith and everybody got fucking sick and tired of it because the original gay movement was just people just wanting to be themselves and be happy and be married. But once it went beyond the hey, I'm gay, I'm gonna get married, they got the right to be married, to be gay and get married, but then they had to go the next step further. Oh, you guys gotta like my choice now. No, we just gave you gay marriage.
I'll
Like-
even push back there because the original gay movement was led by Harvey Milk, famous pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So like,
And wait, I want to point out, why do you think kids are always involved, like drag queens and all this other shit in schools and shit? I mean, it's not rocket science, bro. They
Yeah.
want to inoculate the next generation so they can come up like this.
and it's
None
gotten,
of this shit is natural. No, I have a few friends on YouTube in real life where they are truly gay. They don't like it, okay? And I stream with a few people that are gay. They're my really good friends. Sam knows a few of them, okay?
Yeah.
He's been on streams with them, okay? So we
Yeah.
know they're truly, but real gay people don't do all the shit you see all over X and all over the news and shit. They
Well,
just want to be left the fuck alone.
I'm gonna point out too, the good friend of the show, Corethus,
Mhm.
does streams, and like half of our fucking guild from the guild that's my best friend, by the way, like IRL and everything. Half of our guild are gay dudes, and they're also not like that. And they also talk about how fucking weird it is.
Yeah. That's what I was saying is like all of the gay people I know here in Florida, like all of them were actually saying like, hey, it's nice, like there's not really any like pride stuff that's out
Yeah.
there.
Well, because the
this month.
corporations decided not to go all in on it this year. The only thing about Pride I've seen at all this month, Sam, but besides the rare posts here and there, is I've seen a lot of articles saying that like different Pride parades basically got canceled because they couldn't find any corporate sponsors.
Gee,
So
gee,
Coco
It was all
Aw.
coming from the USA Aid and other places, right there.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the
And that's
DEI.
what they didn't get is they thought Coca-Cola loved them, but actually this NGO was paying Coca-Cola to put fucking pride flags on everything. Duh.
Yeah, and then and then like there was such a backlash, a few years ago that like a lot of companies like Target just don't want to deal with, they don't want to deal with the backlash anymore because yes, it did. It
Well,
actually
the
did hurt
backlash
their.
is just the tip of the iceberg, Sam, because we're not dealing with the anarcho-tyranny problem. Yes, the gay stuff was annoying people, and it was tyrannizing the average person by these like drag queen story times and stuff, trying to enforce this gay stuff on your children. But what's still happening is if you're a regular family guy like myself, you have to worry about your children's safety at school. You have to
Yeah.
worry about going out in public. And then I again, famously, last year was assaulted by 2 Tren Aragua gangbangers just walking down the fucking street in my own home fucking town.
Oh yeah, so you must have been thrilled when Trump declared the Tren Aragua a terrorist organization. Then
Yeah, and I'm extra glad that he fucking drone struck their fucking leader, and I hope he fucking wipes them out. But point being,
good.
these are the kind of real. We've been saying this from the beginning, left, right, whatever. People have very domestic, very real life issues that they care about. The price of food at the grocery store, their gas prices, electric bills, things like that. And then they also have this, even in red states, these little bits of tyranny coming from lefties are like on like climate change stuff. Well, you can't have these stoves anymore, and you have to have your car like this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this. And people are sick. I'm telling you right now, the last place you want to try and nanny state to death is America, because people have a breaking point here.
Yeah, and the breaking point hit when USA Aid and all this other shit came down. Like that was one of the breaking points where you had several. I'm gonna point this. You have several breaking points where you had 2020 up. Okay, Bud Light. That was one of the breaking points when the Bud Light thing happened.
Silly as it is, you're right.
You had certain points in there in our timeline. They were breaking points, and it was bringing it down little by little. Bud Light. You had the Jaguar bullshit. You had all this other stupid shit. USA Aid, do this.
Well, I'll tell you another common breaking point right now, is I've been talking about for the last year especially, is terror attacks on U.S. soil.
Did you? I'm going to point out. Did you see that they? And I don't know if this was a made up bullshit or something, but they said there was a guy that was, and he was 19. Well, I'm going to put it out. We're in that certain age range again. That was going to go and shoot up the UFC 250.
I'd heard that there was something related to that. I hadn't looked into it, but
I looked into it and I'm like, okay, this sounds like some made up.
What I was going to specifically reference is, like, I live very close to Providence and Pawtucket, Rhode Island, okay? And both of those places have recently had politically motivated shootings, first at Brown University. And people can say it was a family dispute all they want. A trans man with a Nazi tattoo shot up his family at the ice rink I used to play hockey at when I was a kid. So, and then I can point to, like, there was a firebomb attack, Molotov cocktail where he burned old ladies for because of Israel or whatever. Like, these things happening. My point of this has been, yes, we need to crack down on unlawful behavior. And I mean, what easier way to fucking start? But I see oftentimes not anything being done about these kind of issues. And we're left to especially, these things happened in Rhode Island. They're a liberal state. Fuck them. And it's like, yeah, okay, but like, it sucks to live here. And it's not that everybody here is a fucking liberal. It's that, what do you think? They don't fucking rig the elections in Massachusetts and Rhode Island? You kidding me? The two most corrupt states in the fucking union.
Right.
Well, I'm going to point that out. I think there's multiple places. There's California, but some parts of California are extremely red. It's LA, San Diego, and some of the other, San Francisco, the parts that are the cancer that you need to cut out of California. I think California would be kind of good. New York, you have Mondami and that fucking communist piece of shit right over there. They need to cut the heart out of that shit over there. And I think New York would be better. Okay.
If you look at an electoral map of Massachusetts, interestingly enough, you see exactly what the problem is. You see, there's 2.1 million registered voters in Boston, Logan County, and then there's 1.8 million registered voters everywhere else. But what does the map look like, you might ask? Well, it looks like one blue fucking county, and the rest of the state is red. That's what Massachusetts looks like on a map, but nobody seems to care.
Same in Colorado, pretty much, with Denver and Boulder. Denver and Boulder are the only like two blue areas on the map.
It's urban anarcho-tyranny is what I've described it as. The urbanites like to sick the poor on the middle class, so we shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And they didn't have enough poor to really terrorize us enough into shutting the fuck up, so they tried to import the third world.
That is true.
And that's worked out splendidly so far.
Well, for them, it caused the societal chaos that commies want to see.
Yep.
For their
And-
rad.
Oh yeah, and I want to point out we have the religion and shit where they're trying to, with the mosques and shit, trying to take over in Texas and Florida. They put one here, and they're those mosques aren't popping up in just random places. They're being put in specific places on purpose. That makes sense, Sam?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, it's them like conquering spaces.
yeah. And so, and I'm going to point out, this is what they did in England. This is how they took over England. This is how the Muslims did that in England. They put mosques and started in slowly, bringing people in, a little bit of time, got some mosques. They turned a few older churches into mosques over there, and then they started bringing their relatives and everything else. Like, I have no problem with people coming to America, but you need to do it for the right reasons, not to try to disrupt what we already have here. Okay? Does that
Do
make
it for
sense?
the right reasons, and you get to fucking assimilate into our culture.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Max, I don't know if if you two are trying to say something, but you guys are muted. Both of you.
Oh, I'm not muted, bro.
No, I
No,
was saying
Max.
I was saying Max and Maxine are muted. So, but
Well, I think that we have common ground with a lot of the center left and right, and I think the center left, reasonable people that I talk to nowadays want to see criminals locked up.
yeah.
I want to
go
see
down.
criminals that are locked up too.
They want to see gas prices go down. They want to see food prices go down. They want to see the economy not shrinking where everybody's losing their job, but actually growth of jobs. These kind of things matter a lot to regular people, you know?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
But I honestly think one of the biggest things we got to do is start putting the people who are causing the most problems out of the way.
Agreed.
Yep.
And until we have like the political will to actually do that and stop pussyfooting around with this cat lady bullshit, we got to stop accepting their language. If they want to scream fascist, they can scream it at a fucking ballot box, bro. And if they scream it through a bullet, they can go to fucking jail or get fucking taken out by, like, you know, that's happened too, right? They get taken by law enforcement and things. Look, they want to battle at the ballot box. We can battle at the ballot box. They want to battle with bullets. You cannot allow that and have a society.
No, you need to keep to what we're doing, because we have people that are from other foreign countries and other people around the world. You have the world fucking bullshit that wants to do that, the WFP and all that other shit. They want to see. I'm gonna say this, and I've said this for 10 years on YouTube, and Sam's heard me say this multiple times over the last 10 years. America is the last bastion. We are the last standing thing. We are what keeps the world going. If America's gone, game fucking over.
Yep.
That's the reason why everybody's so hardcore to get fucking Trump out, to get everybody out. If we fall, the whole world falls.
Well, and Max,
plain and simple.
And Max, you said that we can battle them at the ballot box, and I agree.
But I'm gonna point out, in California, they cheated to get Homeboy not mayor, because he would have actually done a difference.
Well, yeah,
he would have made a difference, and you can tell. You can tell by
we
the
got
way
to stop
he acted.
tolerating the cheating.
Well, yeah,
that's. Remember when they used to literally tyrannize us into literal prison sentences in some cases for simply saying you suspected the 2020 election is stolen? We need to, like, I get sick of hearing people say, oh, no, you don't have to go after the people that did all this shit. Yes, we fucking do. Yes, we fucking do. You gonna just let them do it again?
my entire YouTube channel got like, banned for 3 years just, for like saying, that codedly.
But they had the power, they destroyed us, and we're supposed to be the merciful responders at all
Nah.
times. And I'm going to tell you right now, that might work on a lot of the right, but that ain't going to work on people like me. I
Yeah.
think some of these people need to be punished for their misdeeds.
Yeah, no, me either. After Charlie Kirk was killed, that was kind of gay. That was kind of game over for me. So,
Well, and the reason why Charlie got taken out, because he was reaching to people all across the aisle, 360 everywhere. He was the one thing that they did not need, because brother, man, he was blessed to bring everybody. He was the great joiner, like Trump.
well,
That's
no,
why they hate him.
well, no, Jed. Well,
Yeah.
no, Jed. It was Israel. Didn't you hear?
Space lasers and shit.
It was Israeli space lasers. It clearly, clearly it wasn't the tranny who
Oh,
said
I heard a new one this week that made me laugh. What? Something exploded, like
Oh yeah,
exploding necktie or something like that. Like, I've heard so many stupid theories about Charlie Kirk that don't vibe with what I saw at all. But they make lots of money. We should start making up stupid theories about that event just to make money, Sam. I think it was actually Bigfoot from the fourth dimension that did it.
Yeah, no.
That's why when he jumped off the building,
the shockwaves killed. Yeah, when Bigfoot jumped off the building, the shockwaves traveled all the way to Utah.
If you look at frame 32 on this one video and you pause it right there,
you got to go back and forth, back, left to the right, left to the
right. Or my favorite is like so you say like, well, there's a trial coming up, and they're like, yeah, the whole thing's a charade, and it's like, okay. There's
I mean,
point of like, I could take counter theories seriously, and then there's a point of every fucking event that happens, it's never the actual fucking shooter. Doesn't matter that he's on videotape. Doesn't matter. Like, none of it matters. It doesn't matter any evidence presented. There's a segment of people that just want to believe in aliens.
And well, and I'm gonna point this out because I want to say this. I do, and I'm gonna say this because the Hadron Collider and all this other shit and everything does make sense if you think about it in theory and relativity and everything else. There's probably in everything that they have the Mandela effect, where I do remember all that shit that they say doesn't exist. I remember all this stuff from when I was younger. Okay, I remember it, and then you actually go back through archives and you find out. You find out the stuff that. There's some conspiracy shit, and I'm gonna go deep in that shit, and Sam already knows that if I go that deep, we're probably gonna get banned off YouTube. Because we did.
Hold on, because I'm not anti-conspiracy theorizing, let's say.
Yeah.
And one thing that you and I will 100% agree on in that realm, as you've pointed out several times, the NGO problem was my biggest conspiracy theory.
Yeah, and I said NGOs for a year, and everybody thought I was fucking crazy, and then it comes out, and they're like, holy shit, Jet's right again.
Yeah, like literally, they are stealing money out of your pocket right in front of you and telling you it's legal, and you just accept it, and they're like, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Dude, Sam, how many times did people call me and you crazy on YouTube for saying all this shit?
Oh, many times.
Yeah, over the last 10 years, me and you have been hanging out.
Here's my thing though. Like, like all of us are somewhat conspiracy coded, but as I was said, the conspiracy theory has to make at least sense. Like,
yes, and this is the reason why. Here's the scary shit. when me and Sam would actually put some logic and reasoning and shit into it, people got scared.
Yeah, but
Me and Sam do. We'll put logic or reasoning in there and bring up the time like, well, this happened, this happened, this happened. Like, I'm just saying.
yeah, but
Well,
I've
there's ones that I definitely like. I've pointed this out. I am very particular on one that nobody seems to bother with. Is
Well-
that Charles Manson was not only not guilty of killing anybody, but also he was a front for a CIA op.
I agree with that. I think he was in a certain ultra program too, and some other shit. You know. So
Yes, MK Ultra.
Yeah.
ran
Well, I
the
don't
clinic-
want it. I don't want. We're still.
No, no, it's fine. I could say whatever here. 'Cause
Well,
Sam-
no, I know, but Sam's doing this on YouTube. I don't want to get his channel banned.
No, it's fine. We could talk about that. I have a whole episode on YouTube about.
Okay, I like after Sam knows this after the first time, because the first time I did shit on Rumble, I did it with Sam because YouTube banned me for talking about the
only
jab and
marginally-
Trump and all this other shit. So
We only marginally care about YouTube banning us because it's not our primary platform.
okay, fuck it then. Okay, Sam's like,
But no,
no,
Yeah.
Jed, no, Jed, no.
This is confirmable. This is
like-
from government files, okay?
Yeah,
So
Sam
the CIA had a program called MK Ultra. Under the umbrella of that program
Mhm.
was the Free Hate Ashbury Clinic, which provided the drugs to the Manson family that they used, both the LSD as well as the methamphetamines that were used by everybody except Charlie Manson. See, they found an old crazy guy. They had Tex Watson was the only male that went to the murders, and he was a young, clean-cut football player. Nobody wants to talk about that.
right.
I have a 5-hour episode on that on YouTube.
Well, I'm shocked Homeboy at
episode's
the
great.
I'm shocked Homeboy at the Y Files hasn't gotten banned off YouTube. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
done some Homeboy. I respect the shit out of him. He's awesome.
It's funny you mentioned that though, Max, because Joe Rogan actually talked about that with Charlie Sheen on the day that Charlie Kirk was killed. That very thing, the CIA clinic.
Well, and the only person whose story has been consistent in the Manson trials and all the thereafter was Charles. He said they said they was gonna go do some shit. I told them I don't want to know nothing about it. And then they came back and said I killed some people, and I said, what the fuck did you do that for? He told that story for the entire 40 fucking years he was imprisoned.
Yeah,
But he wasn't allowed to defend himself because the judge had ruled that he had mind control powers, so the jury couldn't hear his testimony.
which
California, ladies and gentlemen.
which
know.
I'm sorry, Max, but like that is that is kind of funny and like an absurd.
I know, and now I think if I'm ever on trial, I'm just fucked because they'll be like, he studied Charles Manson, so he also has mind control powers, and there's legal precedent that they're real, Sam.
Yes. So like we're ultra fucked.
Any case
then.
where the prosecution literally rests on the man has mind control powers, I am skeptical of.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for good reason.
One thing for some crackpot on the internet to say that. It's another thing for the prosecuting attorney for the state to say this man has mind control powers and so he can't talk to the jury because he'll mind control them.
Oh yeah.
That's what's happened here, Sam. People have told me this for years. Apparently, I mind controlled you.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, who mind controlled who? Did you mind control me, but like I've been
By the books.
You don't not have mind control powers, Max.
well, hold on, Mortheous. I've been accused of mind controlling you, though.
I know, and they are both crippled guys, so we know they have mind powers.
Hold on, though. Like, for real, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Mort, but like, supposedly you've become more right wing only after meeting me. And
Wait.
And you never
Where the
have
hell is that coming from?
randos on Twitter.
Well, then, Mr. or Mrs. Rando's on Twitter. If you think that, come find me. We'll talk. At Mortheous.
I agree.
He wants to smoke.
If
I
people
want all
Oh, dude,
motherfucking
yeah,
smoke.
yeah. You'll
All of
see
it.
me and Sam and Morpheus like fucking gang up on motherfuckers.
if people only think that Moore is like conservative-ish because of me, clearly they haven't scrolled his timeline.
Yeah, I'm like,
Even I sometimes I'm like, you know, maybe
Damn, more. I didn't know you had that view.
yeah. Yeah. So also, what's on the docket for Bits and Bones Friday?
Bits and Bones on Friday. We'll be talking about the studio closures, the the mess that CDPR fucking made for themselves, and hashtag Mort rants.
Based. And do you got Max and Maxine? Do you guys have a Saturday stream plan? Is Sandwich Makers like back now or what?
Do you have? She looked excited, so I'm gonna let her finish.
Chibi did say that she wants to try and make this a regular thing. So, as far as I know, we're gonna try and do an episode this Saturday, and Sandwich Makers might be back with me and Chibi. I'm
should be a little
hoping.
better organized as well.
Yeah.
Because we were trying to play a game and then the game crashed. And that caused a whole bunch of fucking problems. So we're not going to do that for the next one, but maybe you could set up your crafts and things and just talk about stuff or whatever. Also, you had a new song I was going to release. I've been sick. That's the other thing, is a stream for me depends on if I get over this fucking head cold.
yeah, you need to get over there, brother.
Got that fucking sinus infection in the eye that I smashed up earlier this year, Sam. Extra fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do I got? I got the Geek Bully / Freak Bully EP coming out Friday for New Music Friday. And then your next song is
Sisters by Choice.
Sisters by Choice, which will be under the Maxine Sand. So Maxine Sand, Right to Offend, new music this week. And she will probably be at least doing Sandwich Makers going forward with Chibi again. So awesome.
Hooray.
That's about all we got, right?
Nice.
And Sam writes books, ladies.
Yeah. And I cause chaos on YouTube and Rumble, so, you know. Yeah.
Vengeance in Venezuela comes out June 30th. Pre-order now on Kindle. And
I can't wait until we get like a Cuba-based one. Oh.
well, funny you mentioned that, because something might be in the works for that. So all I can say is you've heard of the October surprise, but have you heard of the September surprise? That's all I'll say.
See.
Okay.
So check back in September, and we'll see what books I have out then. So.
Oh yeah, and Anita Sarkeesian Friday.
Yep.
Okay, well then in that case, also Rum Drunk Sam on Friday. Then if we're talking Anita Sarkeesian, I'm gonna get smashed.
Wait, I need to be in all this shit. You know that, right? You need to start putting a link so I can come into the shows and shit. Okay.
We'll
especially Bits and Bones, man. You guys could get gamers.
I'll drop you a link on Friday, no problem.
Yeah. We have that little thing on
just
Discord. If you see me pop in, just fucking send me a link. So like. I'm like, hey, bro, I want to be on.
I'll add you to the or maybe
Add me
more.
to a list where I know I can get it, and I can just pop in. Okay.
Maybe more might have to do it since he's the since.
I'll arrange it.
All right, but yeah, I think any other topics that.
And I am working on the Whitfield Report Live, the album, for sure.
Yeah.
Which
Nice.
is going to be all songs made from actual clips of the show.
Based.
Yeah. Or things based on the show. Like your dating song is going to be on it. And things related to the show that I think fit on a comedy album, basically.
Nice.
Also, check out some of Sam's songs on Pseudo. He's put out a few that I actually really like.
Yeah,
I just remixed and remade. I remade that one. It was rolling in the swipe left lose or whatever.
Yeah.
You made a Frank Zappa song about dating as a crippled guy, and all I could think is, I need Isaac Hayes to sing this same song as like a blaxploitation. I was like rolling. Yeah. Anyway.
Also for the Zoomers out there, listen to Frank Zappa. Highly.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he gets enough appreciation. So.
Catholic girls.
But anyway, any other news that needs to be covered? But
well, we got 250.
America is the greatest country that has ever existed. Fight me.
I think that is an awesome way to close out the show.
Yep.
Honestly. So.
Happy Juneteenth.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get kicked out of the studio when you stop, aren't
I? Well, we'll see.
You just send me a link. I'll come back in.
So. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Jed, thanks for calling in, and
yeah, that was a trap. Now, so.
now that we know that the call-in feature works, there you have it. So
you guys may see me more over here because I said I've been saying to Sam for a while. I was like, dude, I want to come over to the shows more. I've been saying it. I'm like, Sam, I want to come over and do shows, dude.
Always a pleasure, sir.
I'll just add you to the group chat link then. So also tune into the Fake Untitled podcast whenever they do their show. Evan, Craig, and Steve, new dad, is the man. They're all the man.
If you have to start with a new one, you're starting fresh, may I recommend checking out, they had American McGee, the game designer, on a couple weeks ago. Great stuff there. They've had some really notable guests in over the years, and I highly recommend people check out the Fake Untitled podcast if you like science-based content, because that's what most of it is.
Yes.
Politics, science, and engineers arguing, and Evan trying to just maintain the ship.
Yes.
Beautiful. We love it.
So, all right. And I'll be back on Monday, hopefully with an author interview. So until, Monday, stay frosty, folks, and keep on celebrating America.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
America, fuck yeah.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.